The recording's already done. Oh, okay. Have a seat. Ms. Fernandez, are you able to hear me okay?
Yes, the interpreter can hear you, Your Honor. Just a little muffled, but the interpreter can hear you.
All right, let me know if at any point you are unable to hear very well, but we're going to go ahead and do our initial advisement here, and then we'll go ahead and bring in our interpreter matter.
Very well.
All right, good morning. I'm Commissioner Procco. This is the 8 a.m. initial appearance calendar for May 1, 2025.
Buenos días, yo soy la juez comisionada y este es el calendario de comparecencia inicial de las 8 de la mañana del 1 de mayo del 2025.
When you hear your name, please step up to the podium that's in the center of the courtroom in here.
Cuando escuchen su nombre, por favor, párense detrás del podio que está aquí en el centro de la sala.
At the end of your hearing today, you are going to be receiving paperwork which will cover everything we go over in here, including your next court dates and all of your release conditions.
Al terminar la audiencia, ustedes recibirán documentación que incluirá toda la información que se les proporcionará aquí el día de hoy, incluyendo las próximas audiencias y sus medidas cautelares.
Please keep in mind you have the right to remain silent. Everything you say in the courtroom is being recorded, both audio and video, and could be used in a future court proceeding.
Recuerden que tienen el derecho a no declarar. Todo lo que ocurre aquí en la sala se está grabando con audio y video y se podría utilizar en otra diligencia judicial.
Pablo Cruz Rivera, sir, if you could step in the courtroom.
Pablo Cruz Rivera, por favor, pase a la sala.
Ms. Fernandez, I'll go and let you do your appearance as well.
Ofelia Fernández, Court Interpreter.
And sir, if you could state your full name and your date of birth.
Señor, de su nombre completo y su fecha de nacimiento.
Pablo Josué Cruz Rivera, nací en 1996, del 03 al 6, marzo.
May the interpreter clarify, Your Honor.
Please.
¿Dijo marzo 6 de 1996?
Sí.
Pablo José Cruz Rivera, March 6, 1996.
All right, so you're here for two separate matters here today. We're going to go ahead and start with your open felony matter, which is here for a bench warrant issued in that case.
Usted tiene dos casos por separado. Primero vamos a empezar con el que es un delito, una orden de detención en su contra.
In that matter, you now have a status conference set on May 7 at 8:30 a.m.
En lo relacionado a esa causa, usted tiene una consulta de actualización el 7 de mayo a las 8:30 de la mañana.
The bond in your warrant has been affirmed. That is a $2,500 secured appearance bond. Otherwise, the rest of your release conditions do remain the same.
What up? Static.
Se afirma la fianza, $2,500 con garantía y sus medidas cautelares se quedan igual.
Your next matter we have here is going to be for a new case out of Superior Court.
El otro caso que tenemos aquí es un caso nuevo en el Tribunal Superior.
That's for one count of possession of dangerous drugs, a Class 4 felony, and one count of possession of drug paraphernalia, Class 6 felony.
Es un punto acusatorio por tenencia de drogas nocivas, delito de categoría 4, y un punto acusatorio por artículos para el consumo de drogas, delito de categoría 6.
And one count of criminal trespass in the third degree, which is a Class 3 misdemeanor.
Y también un punto acusatorio por entrada ilícita en propiedad ajena en tercer grado, que es una falta.
In that case, you have a status conference set May 7 and a preliminary hearing May 9, both at 8:30. These will all be at the Superior Court in downtown Phoenix.
En lo relacionado a ese caso, tiene una consulta de actualización el 7 de mayo y una audiencia preliminar el 9 de mayo. Ambas audiencias son a las 8:30 de la mañana y ambas se llevarán a cabo en el Tribunal Superior del Centro de Phoenix.
And for your case involving the new charges that just came in, you have a $50 cash-only appearance bond.
Y para el nuevo caso, usted tiene una fianza en efectivo únicamente con garantía de $50.
Do you have any questions regarding this information?
¿Tiene alguna duda respecto a esta información?
No, ninguna.
No, none.
All right, if you want to go and step over to your left, you can go ahead and have a seat. We'll get your paperwork to you here shortly.
Pase por favor a la izquierda, le entregarán su documentación.
Ms. Fernandez, that is the only matter that I had marked as needing an interpreter because you just double-checked to see if there is anyone else here who does need the assistance of an interpreter.
¿Hay alguien más en la sala que necesite la ayuda de un intérprete? Levante la mano.
All right, let's go ahead and proceed. We're going to have Ashley Ennis step in the courtroom. After her, it's going to be Raul Rodriguez, rather. All right, ma'am, your full name and date of birth.
It's Ashley Ennis, 2595.
All right, you've got 5 separate cases here today. I'm going to start with the new charges that just came in. This is going to be for a new case out of Superior Court. The charges submitted in that matter are one count of arson of an occupied structure, which is a Class 2 felony, and one count of aggravated assault. That's a Class 3 felony. The date of offense is August 12th of 2024. The Legal Defender's Office has been appointed to represent you. You have a status conference set May 7 at 8:30, evidentiary hearing May 8 at 1:30, and a preliminary hearing May 9th at 8:30. Those will all be at the Superior Court in downtown Phoenix. In this matter, I do show you were on felony release in another case on the date of this offense back in August of last year. The matter that you were on felony release for is 2024-135628. Since you're on felony release on that date, you are required at this time to be held without bond here at your initial appearance, which is why we set that evidentiary hearing on May 8th. That's the court date we set in order to allow the court to review that. Your next case we have here is going to be another open matter, but this one is a grand jury warrant. So this is for an indictment that was filed. It alleges one count of aggravated robbery, a Class 3 felony, one count of attempted robbery, a Class 4 felony. Actually, 2 counts of each of those charges. So 2 counts aggravated robbery, 2 counts attempted robbery. The dates of offense here are August 3rd, August 12th, and August 14th of 2024. So in that matter, the legal defender has also been appointed. Your court dates there are an arraignment hearing on May 8 at 8:30, evidentiary hearing May 8 at 1:30. In that matter, this is also a non-bondable matter. So you are not eligible for release in either of these cases due to being on felony release on the dates of offense. Now, your next three matters here are your probation cases. These are the three probation matters that you were on probation for on the dates of offense. So it's not all four of your probation matters. So in those three matters, you now have a revocation arraignment hearing set on May 8th at 8:30. An attorney's been appointed there as well. You are also non-bailable in each of your probation matters pursuant to Rule 27.7 and 7.2 of the Arizona Rules of Criminal Procedure due to the likelihood that you will be sentenced to the Department of Corrections in these matters. Do you have any questions regarding any of this information that I've just gone over?
No.
All right. Do you want to go ahead and step over? You can go ahead and have a seat at this time. Looks like your paperwork is ready for you. We've got Mr. Rodriguez and then Dimitri Spellman is going to be
Hey, what up,
after that.
Steven? Hey, how's everybody doing today? Hey, I'm back at it, if you will. Hey, hopefully you guys are doing good. You know, hey, I got some good sleep today, and I'm ready to be back on, if you will. Hey, thank you for that daily heart. Highly appreciate that. Hey, thank you for them daily hearts, man. I appreciate it, man. I appreciate you guys. What up? How's everybody doing today? Up next, who's gonna be here? No sé. What are they gonna be here for? That I don't know. We're about to find out. Hey, good morning. Hey, welcome back. Hell
Please
yeah.
state your full name and date of birth.
Rodriguez, 10/14/1970.
All right, you've got two separate matters here today. I'm going to start with the new charges that just came in. This is going to be for a new case in Superior Court. The charges here are 1 count of possession of narcotic drugs for sale, 1 count of possession of dangerous drugs for sale. Those are both Class 2 felonies. 1 count of possession of narcotic drugs, 1 count of possession of dangerous drugs, both Class 4 felonies, and 1 count of possession of drug paraphernalia, which is a Class 6 felony. So in that matter, the public defender has been appointed. Your court dates you have at this time are a status conference set on May 7 at 8:30 a.m., evidentiary hearing May 8 at 1:30 p.m., and a preliminary hearing May 9th at 8:30. Those are going to be at the Superior Court in downtown Phoenix. I show you were also on felony release on the date of the offense here, that being yesterday. You were on felony release in CR 2023-148736, which is the other matter we're about to review here. But because you were on felony release in this case, at the time this offense allegedly occurs, you are required to be held without bond at this time. That means you're not eligible for release on the new charges. Your open case here, that 2023 case is also here because a bench warrant was issued for a failure to appear. Looks like the bond posted in that matter has already been forfeit. The status conference is now May 7 with the preliminary hearing May 9th. Those same court dates you had in the last one. Your bond in that matter is a $500 secured appearance bond. Do you have any questions regarding these cases?
No.
All right, step over to your left and have a seat. We've got Dimitri Spellman, who's going to be up next. After that, Jorge Figueroa.
Hey, I thought he was gonna get that paper with his mouth right now, cause that fool was like, she gator putting it in his mouth. How dare he, like a piss.
All right, Mr. Spellman, go ahead and state your full name and date of birth.
Dimitri Spellman, May 1st, 2000.
All right, so you've got a new case out of Superior Court here. The charges that have been brought in are 1 count of stalking, a Class 3 felony, 1 count of aggravated domestic violence, a Class 4 felony. That was for aggravated assault, impede breathing. That's a Class 4 felony. The aggravated domestic violence charge is a Class 5 felony, 3 counts of assault, a Class 1 misdemeanor, 4 counts of preventing the use of a telephone in an emergency, a Class 2 misdemeanor. The dates of offense here are March 22nd, April 9, April 27, and April 28 of 2025. The Public Defender's Office has been appointed to represent you. The court dates you have at this time are going to be a status conference, May 7 at 8:30, preliminary hearing, May 9th at 8:30. Those will be at the Superior Court in downtown Phoenix. In this matter, based on the nature of the offenses that you're here for, all of which do involve domestic violence charges, as well as a review of your prior domestic violence history, and the fact that it looks like you've also got multiple warrants out of the city of Phoenix. You do have a bond in this matter. That's a $75,000 secured appearance bond. If you post bond and were released from custody, it would be subject to the supervision of pretrial services. You would have electronic monitoring added as part of those release conditions. That is being put in place because you have orders that you are not to have any contact with any alleged victim, complainant, or witness in this matter. You are not to return to the scene of the offense, which does mean you need to find an alternate residence and provide proof of that residence to pretrial services. I'll just warn you at this time that a failure to obey a no victim contact order and a criminal release order, which is what you have now, that would constitute aggravated harassment, which is a Class 6 felony. If you come in here on a new felony offense, at that point you would be non-bailable. Do you have any questions regarding that?
Is there any way to be released? So I have a
you pay.
daughter, and it's just
pay up, homeboy.
Mom that watches her. Like, we don't have anybody else to watch her. It's literally just myself and her mother.
No, I'm
and
sorry
that's
that
not
you
the,
set
that's
them
not
up
the
for this
person.
situation, but no, that's not on the table today. All right, if you want to go ahead and step over.
Unbelievable.
At this time, we've got Jorge Figueroa.
Unbelievable.
Jonathan Escarcega will be up after that.
Hey, you know, you don't want to have problems like that. Don't get locked up. It's easy. It's easy as 1, 2, 3. Hey, if you will. Man, I see you guys found the new,
So your full name and
the
date
new
of
little
birth?
stickers.
All right, let's try that again. Go ahead and state more clearly your full name and date of birth. Did you say 4/21 of 2003?
Yeah.
And is your full name Jorge Quizera Figueroa?
Yes.
All right, so you've got 3 separate cases here today. 2 of them are going to be probation violation warrants that were issued. In each of your probation matters, there was a petition to revoke filed. It alleges a violation of terms 3 and 5 of your probation matter. So the public defender has been appointed. You do have a revocation arraignment hearing set on May 8 at 8:30. That'll be at the Superior Court in downtown Phoenix.
What up,
In
Kentucky?
this matter, you do have a bond. That's a $500 secured appearance bond in the first one. Second one is a $250 secured appearance bond. So it's $750 total for your 2 probation cases. Your third case you have here is going to be the new matter that just came in. And this is going to be for a new case out of Superior Court, with that charge being aggravated assault, a Class 3 felony. In that matter, public defender is appointed as well. Status conference set May 7 with a preliminary hearing May 9, both at 8:30. That's going to be at the Superior Court in downtown Phoenix. In this case here, based on the nature of the offense you have here, specifically the allegation of the threatening use of a dangerous instrument, you do have a bond, which is a $50,000 secured appearance bond. You're also going to be ordered not to return to the scene of the offense or have any contact with any alleged victim, complainant, or witness. You're still not to possess any weapons while on release. And since you are still on supervised probation, if you do post bond and you are released from custody, you do still need to contact probation within 72 hours and otherwise comply with your probation terms. Do you have any questions regarding any of these 3 matters?
Yeah.
All right, sir. If you want to go and step over to your left, all that information will be included in your paperwork as well.
Hey, man, thank you. Hey, I appreciate you guys, man. I appreciate it. I definitely feel the love through the screen, if you will. I haven't been on for like a few days, so it feels good to be back.
All right, sir. So you've got 2 separate cases here today. I know you're already in custody for a couple other matters that you have here, but this first one here is going to be, actually, they're both grand jury warrants. So the first one is for an indictment filed that alleges 1 count of burglary in the 3rd-degree Class 4 felony. That one has an offense date of February 20th of 2025. So in that case, public defender is appointed. Arraignment hearing set May 8 at 8:30. And in that case, the bond and the warrant's been affirmed. That's a $5,000 secured appearance bond. Now, your second case that we have here is the other grand jury warrant for the indictment filed. This one alleges 1 count of theft of a means of transportation, a Class 3 felony, and then 1 count of burglary in the 3rd-degree Class 4 felony. The dates of offense there are December 29 of 2024 and January 2nd of 2025. So in that matter, public defender is appointed as well. Same court date, arraignment hearing set on May 8th. And in that matter, the bond and that warrant's been affirmed, so that's a $10,000 secured appearance bond. So it's $15,000 total for both of these matters. Otherwise, your release terms do include the terms that you are not to return to the scene of any offense, not to have any contact with any alleged victim, complainant, or witness in these matters. Any questions regarding these 2 new cases here?
No.
All right, if you want to go and step over and go ahead and have a seat.
We came in hot today, man. Everybody got picked up. Did everybody get picked up by crash unit today? Crash unit Tuesdays and Thursdays, if you will. Up next on The Price is Wrong.
Your full name and your date of birth.
D'Angelo 10-06-2582.
All right, so you've got 3 separate cases here today. Looks like all 3 of these are actually, the first 2 are going to be your bench warrants that were issued. So these first 2 are going to be for bench warrants issued for failures to appear back in February. So in each of those cases, so your probation matters, you now have a revocation arraignment hearing set on May 8 at 8:30, and the bond in those warrants has been affirmed. The first one's a $250 secured appearance bond. Second is a $500 secured appearance bond. Now your third matter you have here, this one is going to be for a grand jury warrant that was issued. This is for an indictment that's been filed that alleges 1 count of fraudulent schemes, Class 2 felony, 1 count of trafficking, Class 3 felony, and 1 count of removal of a theft detection device, that's a Class 6 felony. So in those matters, the dates of offense I have here are going to be August 26, August 31, and September 15 of 2024. The public defender has been appointed there as well. You have a arraignment hearing set on May 8 at 8:30. That'll be at the Superior Court in downtown Phoenix, and the bond in that warrant's been affirmed. This one is a $5,000 secured appearance bond. If you do post bond and are released from custody, you're also going to be ordered not to return to the scene of the offense, not to have any contact with any alleged victim, complainant, or witness. Since you are still on supervised probation, you do still need to abide by those terms as well, which does include contacting probation within 72 hours. You'll get paperwork for each individual case. That'll have that information in it if you have any questions at this time. All right, sir. Thank you. If you want to go and step over, you can go and have a seat. We've got Mr. Torres.
Vámonos.
Torres.
Sheesh, man.
After that, we've got Alyssa Leighton.
Hey, what up, Steven? James, is this live?
Sir, your full name and date of birth?
I don't know, no sé.
All right, thank you, sir. You've got 3 separate cases here today. I'm going to start with a new matter that just came in. So this is going to be for a new case out of Superior Court. In that matter, the charges are 1 count of criminal damage, a Class 6 felony, 1 count of shoplifting, a Class 1 misdemeanor, and 1 count of criminal trespass in the 3rd degree. That's a Class 3 misdemeanor. So in this matter, the Public Defender's Office has been appointed. You do currently have a status conference set May 7 with a preliminary hearing May 9, both at 8:30. And those are going to be at the Superior Court located in downtown Phoenix. I do see you're currently on probation in 2 separate matters. Looks like you were actually just reinstated, I think about a week ago, as well as the fact that you do have some prior failures to appear located in your history. You do have a bond in this matter. That's a $1,500 secured appearance bond. You're also going to be ordered not to return to the scene of the offense, not have any contact with any alleged victim, complainant, or witness in this matter. You do have your 2 probation cases, which are now here again, and now they're here for a Term 1 violation. So in each of those probation matters, the public defender's been appointed as well. Revocation arraignment hearing set May 8 at 8:30.
I'm about to.
In each of those matters, you now have a $500 secured appearance bond. So that ends up being $2,500 total.
So we'd have to look at that ugly mug.
If you postpone and are released from custody, you're still on supervised probation. You do still need to abide by the terms that you were provided, and that does include contacting probation within 72 hours.
Somebody's acting
up.
Up.
Any questions regarding that? All right,
I'll
if you
put
want to
that
go
right
ahead
over
and
their
see,
face.
that information will be in that paperwork that you were just given there as well. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
All right, so we've got Ms. Leighton, and then Desiree Estorgo will be up next.
James, we can't see nothing. James, we can't hear. James, where you been? Ay. Hey, Sue, thank you. Highly appreciate that, man. I appreciate you guys, man.
Alyssa Ashley Leighton, 12392.
All right, thank you. So you've got 3 separate cases here today. All 3 of these are here for probation violation warrants that have been issued. In each of your probation matters, there is a petition to revoke filed alleging a violation of terms 3, 4, 5, 7, and 15 of your probation terms. So the public defender's been appointed. You have a revocation arraignment hearing set on May 8th at 8:30 a.m. That'll be at the Superior Court in downtown Phoenix. In each of these matters, the bond and the warrant's been affirmed. So the first one was $450. The next one is a $1,000 bond. And the final one is another $450. So it's $1,900 total for all 3 matters.
Damn.
Those are secured appearance bonds.
What up? Good
If
morning.
you do postpone and are released from custody, since you're on IPS for your level of supervision, you do need to contact probation within 24 hours rather than that standard 72. Do you have any questions regarding that? All right. You are going to get paperwork for that, but if you want to go ahead and have a seat, thank you so much. We've got Desiree.
That was to teach you guys a lesson.
Isaac Carrillo.
Keep it up. I got some more. Bob Ross coming this way. What up, Chad? Hey, what up, Bill? Cool things. Thank you, man. I see you're utilizing those new stickers wisely, if you will.
All right. Your full name and date of birth.
Desiree Michelle Estorga, February 5th,
All right. Thank you. You are here for 2 separate cases at this time. The first one is going to be for a bench warrant that was issued for failure to appear in CR 2024-141134. In that matter, you have a status conference now set May 7 at 8:30. That'll be at the Superior Court in downtown Phoenix. The bond and the warrant's been affirmed, which is a $500 secured appearance bond. Your next case you have here is going to be for a warrant issued out of the West McDowell Justice Court. This is a failure to pay post-adjudication warrant. So in that matter, the arraignment hearing is now set on May 6th at 8:30. That'll take place at the West McDowell Justice Court. In that case, since you've already got the hold in your Superior Court case, I did affirm the bond in that warrant as well. That's $1,170. That is also a secured appearance bond. Since I did set a bond in that matter, I did also appoint the Public Defender's Office there as required by Rule 6.1 to represent you for that bond issue. Do you have any questions regarding that?
Thank you. If you will.
All right, if no questions, you can go and step over to your left over there and have a seat. Isaac Carrillo, and then Christopher Villa.
As you guys can see, I've been working on those little stickers. You know, I've been over here with my Twitter fingers. I haven't been on, but I've been fixing up things for you guys, if you will. So I got some other cool ideas that I'm gonna go ahead and do over the next few days. So definitely be on the lookout.
Name and date of birth.
Isaac Carrillo, January 17, 2000.
All right, sir, you're here for a probation violation warrant that was issued. This one is for a petition to revoke filed back in March, alleging a violation of terms 3, 4, and 5 of your probation term.
Not 5.
The Public Defender's Office has been appointed. You have a revocation arraignment hearing May 8 at 8:30. And in this matter, the bond in your warrant's been affirmed, which is a $1,500 secured appearance bond. And again, if you do postpone in our release, you do need to contact probation within 72 hours of your release. Do you have any questions regarding that?
No.
All right, sir, if you want to go and step over, you can go ahead and have a seat at this time. All right, so we've got Christopher.
That's what I'm talking about right there. Don't cry. Like you did the crime. Just write it out. No excuses about mom. Who's gonna take care of my puppies? Who's gonna feed my puppy? I gotta take my mom to cancer treatment.
Christopher Villalobos.
Damn, James, you're cold.
All right, thank you. So you've got two separate cases here today. I'm going to start with the new matter that just came in. This is going to be for a new case out of Superior Court. It's alleging one count of possession of narcotic drugs. That's a Class 4 felony. In that matter, the Public Defender's Office has been appointed. You have a status conference at May 7 with a preliminary hearing May 9, both at 8:30. And those will be at the Superior Court in downtown Phoenix. So in this matter, because you are going to have a bond in your probation case, which is also here today, you do have a $50 cash bond in this one that is being set in order to make sure you do have a bond in each case, just in case you don't post that second one. Your next matter here is that probation case. It's here because a petition to revoke was filed back in February, alleging a violation of terms 3 and 5. The Public Defender's been appointed. You have a revocation arraignment hearing set on May 8 at 8:30.
Thank you for
and
that,
in that
baby.
matter, the bond in the warrant's been affirmed. That's a $250 secured appearance bond. If you post that bond and are released from custody, you are still on supervised probation, so you do still need to contact probation within 72 hours. Do you have any questions regarding that?
No.
All right, sir, if you want to go and step over, looks like your paperwork's set to go there too. All right, so we have Nicholas Esquivel and then Malcolm Mims will be up after that.
Is wrong. Man, hey, she's like a saleswoman at an auction. She's like, she's like nonstop, like ba 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 ba.
All right, sir. Your date of birth?
Hi.
Your full name and your date of birth?
Nicholas Paul Esquivel, 11/25/1985.
All right, thank you, sir. We're here for a probation violation warrant that was issued back in October of last year. So in that matter, the petition to revoke filed alleges a violation of terms 3 and 5 of your probation term.
Not 3 and 5
The
again.
Public Defender's been appointed. You have a revocation arraignment hearing May 8 at 8:30, which will be at the Superior Court in downtown Phoenix. And in this matter, the bond in the warrant's been affirmed. That's a $750 secured appearance bond. Now, if you do postpone and are released from custody, you do need to contact probation within 72 hours.
I'm gonna have to
Do you have
cover
any
that.
questions
I
regarding
gotta
that?
cover that ugly mug up. I can't do you guys like that.
All right, sir, if you want to go and step over, you can go and have a seat at the time.
Next,
That
damn,
information
James,
will be
you're
in there as
cold.
well.
James, you're cold.
All right, so we have
Oh,
Malcolm,
there you cover his face
and
with
then
the
after
mute
that,
button.
Brenda Castro.
My son's age, he looks older. Yeah, that methany will definitely do that to you, if you will. Holy moly. Holy moly.
All right, sir, your full name and date of birth?
Malcolm Mims, 12874.
All right, thank you. You've got two cases here today. I'm going to start with your probation matter as well. In that case, there was a petition to revoke filed back in February that alleges a violation of terms 3 and 5 of your probation term. So the Public Defender's been appointed. You do have a revocation arraignment hearing set on May 8 at 8:30. That'll be at the Superior Court in downtown Phoenix. The bond in your warrant's been affirmed. This is a $750 secured appearance bond. Now, if you postpone in this matter and are released, you're still subject to the supervision of probation, so you do still need to abide by those terms. That does include contacting probation within 72 hours. You do have a second case here. This one is out of the Surprise Municipal Court. So they issued a warrant in this matter, which is CM 2023-00802.
Appreciate that.
So in that case, an arraignment hearing is set May 6th at 1:30. That'll take place at the Surprise Municipal Court. And in that matter, the bond in the warrant has been affirmed. That is a $50 secured appearance bond. Since I did affirm the bond that was in your warrant, I did also appoint counsel to represent you pursuant to Rule 6.1 for that issue, but that'll be handled by the Surprise Municipal Court. Do you have any questions regarding this information?
Yeah, I reported last month.
You
to my
reported?
probation department. to the
I can let
probation.
you know what is in your petition to revoke.
And can I
That
ask
was
for a lower
provided
bond?
to us.
What up, Emily?
Is it
From
possible
the
to get a lower
UK?
bond for the probation violation?
No,
Was
you're
that a
already on
whale?
the low end for your probation matter.
What
You've already
the
been
what?
reinstated on one other one
Well
other
diving. Hey, thank you. I
incident.
appreciate that.
I'll let you know. I don't see any
Hello, I
reports
report.
in the last month, but that's something you can certainly
Hey,
speak
thank
to your
you,
attorney
Sancho.
about. I'm looking at your
Primo,
probation notes, and there's no indication of it. But again, you can certainly speak with your attorney about that. The warrant that was issued here for your petition to revoke, it does allege 3 and 5, which is not reporting as directed. There are several dates that were cited, with the last date reported being on January 23rd and whereabouts unknown since January 23rd. That's
January
when it was issued
23rd.
on February 26th.
I'm no mathematician,
arrested me on the
but that's 4 months, I think.
19th of March, and then they did a squash motion. They came and arrested
squash?
me, and then they did a squash motion
Or a
because
quash?
I did report.
No sé.
I'll look at your thing to see if
Because
there's
squash, I
anything
don't like.
reflecting that
That's
this warrant was
nasty.
ever quashed.
Yeah,
Squash.
so they brought me down here to
Thank you for that,
ICR,
Daily,
and they
making it
squashed it and
rain.
they released me.
No, there's nothing that's occurred since the warrant was issued
That's
back
crazy.
in February. There's
Yeah.
been nothing that has
Nice.
taken place in your probation case
Yeah, I was arrested
at
and
all
brought
since
down
then.
here on March.
I think that's why he's in the
19th.
situation that he's
And
in,
you
because
can certainly speak with your attorney about that if you are brought in on this.
He was
charge.
trying to
It's
get it-
certainly
he was
not
trying to get a
reflected in your
squash.
docket at all.
Okay.
not quashed.
Thank you.
She's making stuff
All
up.
right, we have Brenda Castro
Squash
and then
or a
Josiah Kelly
zucchini.
will be up next.
I'm gonna have to add that to the little sticker. I have to make a little zucchini or a squash.
All right, ma'am, your full name and date of birth.
I'm Brenda Castro, 12/4/78.
All right, thank you. You are here for 2 separate cases here today. Each of these are probation violation warrants that were issued. In both of those probation
Did you guys hear
matters,
that?
there was a petition to revoke filed. This was back in January. It alleges a violation of terms 3, 4, 5, and 7 of your probation term. So the public defender's been appointed. You have a revocation arraignment hearing set on May 8 at 8:30. And then in each of these matters, or in each of the cases, the bond in your warrant's been affected. The first one's $250. The next one is a $100 secured appearance bond. So it's $350 total for both. So you'll get that information here in a moment. If you have any questions regarding either matter here.
I mean, is there any way I can get it reinstated or anything like that? Like,
I'm unable to do that. You have to appear in front of the probation court for anything further for your probation matters. I'm only seeing you on the warrants that were issued in this case.
Okay.
So this is only an initial appearance.
okay, so if I can't pay the bonds, I'm going to be,
If you're unable to post the bonds, then you would remain in custody. They would transport you to your court date on May 8th. That's when you're going to appear in the probation court.
Okay.
At that time, you'll be able to speak with your attorney and see if
Bring your
reinstatement's an
toothbrush
option.
at
I
your
don't know
next
what your
court
options
date.
are in your case.
okay, so it's total what?
What up, Mama?
Three-
Try.
It was $350 for both of them.
Okay.
Okay?
Nice, thank
All
you.
right, thank you.
I think he might have got
All right,
squashed.
so we have Mr. Kelly. After that, Trudy
Are you
Yas.
crying? Yeah, man. I miss jumping out here, man.
Your full name and date of birth.
Jesus.
Josiah Kelly, 8
Making it rain.
All right, sir, you're here for a bench warrant that was issued. That's going to be for a failure to appear in CR 2024-157-565. In that matter, your court dates are now going to be a status conference May 7 with a preliminary hearing May 9, both at 8:30. And in that matter, the bond in your warrant's been affirmed. This one is a $500 secured appearance bond. Do you have any questions regarding any of that information? All right, sir, if you want to go and step over to your left, you can go ahead and have a seat.
Hey, he's
All
beat
right,
out
so
so
we've got Ms.
soon.
Yazzie. After that, it's going to be Michael Wong.
Slash from Guns N' Roses. Yeah, my lady would be like, man, that fool needs to cut that thing off. Mechudo. Bone. Hey, that's right. He looks like Lazy Bone, right?
Hi, ma'am, your full name and date of birth.
Trudy Yas,
Snoop.
10/23/1989.
All right, thank you. So you're here for a probation violation warrant. In your matter, there was a petition to revoke filed, and it looks like back in October of last year. That's alleging a violation of terms 3, 4, and 5 of your probation term. So the
Yeah.
public defender's been appointed. You have a revocation arraignment hearing May 8 at 8:30. And in that matter, the bond in there has been affirmed. You've got a $100 cash-only appearance bond.
Okay.
So if you do post bond and are released from custody, you do need to contact probation within 72 hours if you're released and otherwise comply with the remaining terms.
Okay.
Do you have any questions regarding that?
No.
All right. Thank you. If you want to go ahead and have
Thank
a seat. We've got Michael Wan and then Timothy Anderson will be up after that.
Man, what's up with everybody violating 3 and 5? I want to know what 3 and 5 is. Anybody from Arizona care to enlighten us right
Your full name
here?
and date of birth.
What's
Michael Angel 1,
3 and 5?
12/11/98.
All right, so you're here for a bench warrant that was issued for failure to appear in CR 2025-113491. In that matter, you now have a status conference set May 15 and a preliminary hearing May 19, both at 8:30. And those will be at the Superior Court in downtown Phoenix. Since the judge in your case only did a very minimal bond on your warrant, I'm going to be releasing you in lieu of that. So you are being released subject to the supervision of pretrial services. You've already been given one chance. You're being given a second chance, even though I don't necessarily know that you deserve it in this case. So I'll just warn you, if you fail to appear on that May 15th court date, it is very likely another warrant's going to issue at that time. I can almost guarantee you're not going to have the same chance again. Do you have any questions regarding that?
Please be seated.
Yeah, what Where would I go to after I be released from here? Like to
What's
As far as
15?
pretrial services go, you're going to receive
Okay,
a
good
packet of
afternoon,
information.
everybody. My name
Your
is
paperwork. It's
Commissioner
got their
Hughes. This is the
contact
2 p.m.
information.
initial
You have to say
appearance
check in with them while on
calendar
release.
for Thursday, May 5th.
You see that
Sorry,
envelope
May
there?
1st.
That's the
Thursday,
pretrial
May
services
1st.
instructions.
Toma.
Interpreter on the line.
That's it.
Yes, good
All right.
afternoon, Your Honor.
You want to go
Lázaro
and step
Fernandez
over?
for
Go
the
ahead and have a
interpreter.
seatbelt. We've got Timothy Anderson, and then Eric
Buenas tardes.
Anderson is going to be up next.
Hey, I'm having a good weekend now that I'm
Your
here
Honor.
because I've been missing in
Buenas
action.
tardes. Habla la
MIA.
Hughes. Esa es la visa incoatoria de las
A
12 de
new
la tarde
case
de
out of
ese
Superior
día,
Court here.
jueves
This is
1
alleging
de
one
mayo.
count of trafficking. That is a
The
class
court
2
orders for
felony,
the taking
and
of
then
DNA
2 counts of
samples
theft.
and
Those are
fingerprints
both class
issued on
1
the
misdemeanors. It
first
looks like the date of
calendar
offense
this
goes back to
morning
March
will apply
11th
to the
this year.
hearings on this
The
calendar.
Public Defender's Office has been
Las
appointed
órdenes
with a status
emitidas
conference set
por el
May
juez
15
para la
preliminary
toma
hearing May
de
19, both
las
at
huellas
8:30.
dactilares y
Those will be
muestras
at the
de
Superior Court in
ADN
downtown
el
Phoenix.
día
I
primero
am
de
going to
ese
be following
calendario se
the
mantienen en efecto.
PSA recommendation here. You are being
As we
released,
get
but it
started
is
on
going
the
to be
calendar
subject to
here this
supervision
afternoon, I
and
will
pretrial
call
services.
each of
You're
you
going to get
into
some
the
instructions
courtroom one at a
regarding
time.
that process and
Según
your paperwork that you're
procedamos
going to be
durante
receiving in
la
a moment.
agenda
You
de
have to
ese
stay checked in
calendario
with
del día de
them
hoy,
while
les
on release in
convocaré
this case.
uno a la vez
Do you have
para
any
que pasen
questions
a la sala
regarding
de
that?
No, ma'am,
audiencias.
thank you.
All right, I do
Hey.
need to print out his paperwork
I'll
again.
ask one
so I
of
left
you
some
to
stuff
stand
off
behind
because
the
I've been-
podium here in front of me in the
I've been trying to
courtroom.
find the buyer for
We'll get your
Two people
paperwork
I
in
intend
just
to
a
call
moment.
for one of my
into the
lungs or
courtroom
one of
and
my
line up in
kidneys,
the
or
queue
I've
so
been
that
uh,
right inside this door.
I've been trying to sell my plasma, if you
Diré a la
will. That's
primera
what I've been
persona
doing for the
que
last
pase y
7
se
days,
pare
if you
detrás de
will.
ese podio de
Hey,
color
what
gris.
up,
A las otras
Sharisa?
dos personas que
We'll
voy
be
a
back.
convocar
Welcome, state your full
después,
name and
Hey,
date of
thank you
voy
for
a
that
pedir que
dolphin.
pasen
Highly
y tomen
appreciate that.
asiento en las dos sillas
All
que
right, thank you.
aparecen
So you're
acá,
here for a new
mirándolos
case
a
out of
ustedes.
Superior Court. It is alleging one count of
As
possession
you
of
can
dangerous
see, there
drugs.
are
That's a class 4
several, quite a
felony.
few
One
of
count
you.
of
There's a lot
possession
of
of
you on
drug
this
paraphernalia.
Damn, I gotta
calendar.
cover
So
this
if you
fool's
would
face up.
please listen carefully
So the public
Haters.
defender
and
has been
move
appointed.
through the
Feyo,
chamber
lo
record.
puya.
It will make
Feyo.
this calendar
The preliminary
move
hearing
much
May
faster,
19,
and everyone can get to where they need
And
to
in
be
this matter,
after
I am
them
going
a
to be
little
following
bit
the
sooner.
PSA recommendation here. You
Como
are being
pueden
released,
notar,
but
hay
it will be
bastantes de
subject to the
ustedes
supervision
el
of
día de
pretrial
hoy acá,
services.
así que si
Before
por
you go,
favor
you're going
pueden
to be
prestar
getting some
atención
additional
cuando se convoque
information
su
regarding
nombre
that process.
para asegurarse de
It
que
does
pasen a
include
las sillas.
contacting
Eso nos va a
pretrial
ayudar
services to
a
stay
que
checked in with them,
podamos
so
nosotros
just make sure you read
atravesar
those
ese
instructions,
calendario
okay?
de una
All right, you want to
mejor
go ahead and
manera y
have a
todos
seat?
puedan
All right,
llegar a
so we've
donde
got
Damn, thank you,
necesiten.
Brandy.
And then Bryant Williams.
Once
will be
you
up
work
next.
your way into the courtroom and you're behind the
What are
podium, the
you
first thing I will do is
serious
ask you
for
to state your
what?
full name and date of
Hey,
birth.
thank you
Then
for that.
I'll
Oh, what
explain
was
to
that
you
right
why
there?
you're here.
Ooh,
Una vez que
damn.
lleguen
I never
ustedes
got a blue
sienten
cake
a la
flowers.
sala de
Thank you. Highly
audiencias,
appreciate that
lo
right
primero
there
que
for
voy a
that,
hacer es le voy a
Kristen.
preguntar
Highly
su nombre y
appreciate
fecha
that.
de nacimiento. Después de eso le
Man,
voy a
hey,
explicar
thank you.
por
Highly
qué se
appreciate you
encuentran
guys, man.
ustedes
You guys
acá.
definitely coming through today.
After that, I will tell
name
you
is
whether
Danny
you
Love,
qualify for a
4 June
court-appointed
6,
lawyer to
1965.
defend you. Those lawyers are
You've got
sometimes called
3
public
separate cases
defenders.
here today. The first one is going to
Después
be for
de
the
eso, le
warrant that
dejaré
was
saber
issued
si
for a
cumple
direct
con los
complaint that's been
requisitos
filed.
para que
So
se
in
le
that matter,
otorgue
the
o se le
charge on the direct
designe
complaint,
un
the
abogado de
charge
oficio.
is 1 count of possession of narcotic drugs, class
Whether
4
or not
felony,
you
1 count of
qualify
possession of
for a
drug
public
paraphernalia,
defender,
that's a
you
class
have the
6
right to
felony.
the
The
assistance
date
of
of
counsel
offense
in
for
a
those
criminal
charges
case,
are,
and you
or
always
is July
retain the
11
right
of
to hire private
2024.
counsel if you
So in
wish
this
to.
matter, the public defender's been
Ahora ya sé
appointed.
que
Your
cumple
court
usted
dates are
con
a
los
status
requisitos
conference
para
set
que
on
se le
May
designe
15
un
and a
abogado de
preliminary
oficio.
hearing May
No,
19,
por
both at
cualquier
8:30.
tipo
Those
de
will be at the
delito
Superior
tiene
Court in
usted el
downtown Phoenix.
derecho
I
a ser
don't show that you
representado
necessarily
I'll
por un
check, I'll say,
abogado,
I'll check
summons
ya
that
that
sea
went
out.
out in
que
this case
quiera
since
usted
it wasn't
emplear
fact.
los servicios
So I
de
am
uno
going to
por
be
sí mismo.
releasing you here today. You are being released
After
on
we
your
talk
own
about lawyers,
cognizance,
I
but
will
since
give
you are
you
still
the
on
next
supervised
court
probation,
date
you are
and
still
time
subject to
you
the
will be
supervision of the
required to
probation
attend.
officer.
And the last thing
Do
we'll
you guys
do
like
while
the
you're in the
TikTok shop,
courtroom
or
is
do you
talk
guys
about
love the
whether
TikTok
you're
shop?
legally
Otherwise,
eligible
comply
for
with the rest
release
of your
from
term.
custody and
So Your
what
probation
terms
matter
and
is also on the
conditions if you
calendar
are.
today, so it looks like both
Después de
probation matters.
terminar de
So in each of
hablar
those
sobre los
cases, you now have a
abogados,
term one
vamos
violation.
entonces
So
a
it's that
hablar
other
sobre las
effect, okay,
fechas
since you were on
futuras
probation on
de
the date of that effect.
comparecencias y
So
vamos
in
a
those
hablar
matters,
si
public
tiene
defender is
usted el
appointed as
derecho
well.
legal a ser
Revocation arraignment
excarcelado y
hearing is
cuáles
set
serían
May
las
8th
medidas
at
cautelares si
8:30,
ese es el
and in
caso.
each of those cases, you have the
In
same
addition to that right to
conditions.
the
You're released
assistance of
subject to the
counsel, you
supervision.
And I mailed out those
also have
stickers for
the
you,
right to
Anita.
remain
Again, you need to
silent.
Free of
contact
charge.
probation within
Free
72 hours.
Me adiciona que el derecho
Do you have any
de
questions regarding that?
ser
No.
representado
Alright, if
por
you
un
wanna go and
abogado
step
tiene
over.
también el derecho
Thank you.
usted a no declarar o
Sent
permanecer
that,
en
Mama
silencio.
Bear, thank you, Holly. Appreciate that for that
Anything that
space
you
dog.
Alright,
do
so
choose
we've
to say in the
got
courtroom this morning
Love
will
you
be
too,
preserved on the
Yeah, I'm doing
recording
good.
this afternoon, will be preserved on the recording and can be used
Brian
against
Javon
you
Williams,
at any point down the line
Thank
in
you,
these
sir. So you're here
proceedings.
for a warrant that was issued
Todo
out
lo
of
que
the
decida
Arcadia
decir
Biltmore
usted
Justice
esta
Court. The case
tarde
number is TR
en actas
2022
puede ser
143
autorizado, queda grabado
So
y
in this
puede
matter,
ser
an arraignment
utilizado
hearing is
en
set
su
on May
contra durante
21
estas
at 1
diligencias.
p.m. That'll take place at the Arcadia
It's important for you all to know
Court.
that for
And this is
purposes
a
of this hearing this
post-adjudication warrant.
afternoon,
In
you
other words,
will
it's a failure
not
to
have
comply,
a
failure to pay
lawyer
warrant. You didn't
present.
take care of
So
something at the court, which is why
because
they
there
issued
won't
the
be a
warrant.
lawyer in here
Since
for
it's
you,
the
and
first
because anything you
post-adjudication
say
warrant
could be
issued in your
used
matter,
against
I am
you,
going to be
I will
releasing you today
caution
to appear
all
at that
of
next
you
court
not
date.
to make
So
any
you're being released on
statements
your own
regarding the
recognizance.
facts
You
about
just
why
need to
you're
make sure.
here.
You show up at that May
Bueno, es
21 court date
importante que
under the
sepan
warrant
que
issue.
durante la audiencia del día de hoy no van a tener un abogado.
Hey, that guy's already ready. He already has the orange shirt on. He's halfway there. He's halfway there already.
Decir o hacer cualquier tipo de
He knows what time it
declaración
is.
sobre los supuestos hechos relacionados a su caso.
Last
My name's
preliminary
Trey
thing before
Milo,
we get started, all the
and birthday's
information that you get in the
4/27/05.
courtroom will
You've got
be
two
in a
separate
written
matters here today.
document
The
called
first
a
one is a
release
warrant
order,
that
and
was
you
issued
will
out of
get
the
a
Agua
copy
Fria
of that when
Justice
you
Court.
step back into that
That's in their
room. So
case
please
number
don't feel like you need to
TR 2024
memorize information that you're getting
So
while
what
you're
a
in
point
court.
Dexter
In that
over
matter,
here.
you have an arraignment hearing now set on May
La última
21 at
información
10:30
preliminar
a.m. Will
antes
be
de
at the Agua
comenzar
Fria
acá
Justice Court.
es que toda
It
la
looks like this is the
información
first
que
warrant
se
issued
le
in this matter, given
entregará
that and that
el
it is
día de
a
hoy
traffic
acá
offense. I am going to be giving you
aparecerá
another
también en
shot
un
to appear at your
documento,
court date.
en un
You are being
resumen
released
donde
on
va
your
a
own
aparecer
recognizance. It is your
todas sus
promise to
medidas
appear. If you fail
cautelares.
to appear at your next court date, it's likely
Okay,
another
can I
warrant
please
will issue
have
at that
Jose
time.
Cortez
Probably won't have the
Ramirez
same
all
luck
the
when
way
you
into
come
the
to appear
courtroom
again
behind
on
the
another
podium,
warrant in
please?
that case.
Oh, please.
You have
Por
another
favor,
case here,
pasar
which is going to be for
José
a
a
new case
Cortés
out of the
Ramírez
Maryville Justice
detrás del
Court.
podio acá en la
In
sala
that
de
matter,
Is that
audiencia.
better
for
right there?
one count of driving on a suspended
Can I have your
license,
full
which
name
is
and
a
date of
class one
birth, please?
misdemeanor. You're
Puede
not
saber,
entitled
por
to
favor,
court-appointed
señor,
counsel in
su
that matter
nombre
because it is
completo y fecha de
not
nacimiento.
qualified because it's a misdemeanor
José
offense. It doesn't
Álvaro
otherwise qualify.
Ramírez.
You have the right to retain an attorney to represent
Del 8 de
yourself in that case.
1982.
An arraignment hearing is set there as
José
well, May
Alberto
21
According to my
at 11 a.m.
calculations.
And in that matter, you are being released on
82.
your own recognizance again, which is again your
Thank you
promise
very
to
much,
appear. Do you have
Mr.
any
Cortez.
questions
You are
regarding
here
that?
on
Thank you,
allegations
Your Honor,
of new
and my only
charges.
question is how did my
Muchas
license
gracias,
get
señor
suspended?
Ramírez.
I
Se
was not
encuentra
aware of
usted
that.
acá
How
bajo
does not
alegatos
Something I can address.
de
equal
nuevas
You can certainly speak with the
acusaciones.
MVD about that. That's not something that
Those
we do here.
allegations are
Cool.
one
Thank
count
you.
of dangerous
If you want
drug
to step
possession,
over,
a
we've
class
got Shane
4
Elliott,
felony,
and
and
then
one count
Reginald
of drug
Darby is gonna be up
paraphernalia
next.
possession, a class 6 felony.
Reginald, we got
Esas
Reginald coming up.
acusaciones son una
Probably no
posesión
insurance.
de tenencia de
Precisely.
drogas nocivas, las cuales son delitos de clase
Right,
4,
sir. Full name and
y
date of birth?
tenencia de hibernáculos para consumo de drogas, un
You
delito
are
de
here for a
clase
new
6.
case out of the White Tank
I
Justice
have
Court.
found probable
The
cause
charge here
to
is one count
support
of
those
obstruction,
allegations,
it's a
and
class
I've
2
appointed the
misdemeanor, one
public
count of criminal
defender's office
trespass
to
in the third
represent
degree,
you.
which is a class 3
He
misdemeanor.
determinado que
You're not
existe
entitled to
motivo de
court-appointed counsel in this
procesamiento
matter
para
based on the nature of the
respaldar
charge.
esas
It does not qualify.
acusaciones y
You do, of
le
course,
he
have the right to
designado
retain an
al
attorney to
abogado de
represent you
oficio
in this
para que le
matter.
represente.
You have an arraignment hearing set on
Your
May
next
20
court
at
hearings
9:30
on these
a.m. That'll be at
allegations
the
will
White Tank
be a
Justice
status
Court.
conference
In
May
this case, you are
15th
being
and then a
released on your own
preliminary hearing May
recognizance. It is going to be your
19th.
promise
They'll
to
both be
appear.
at
Do you have
8:30
any
in
questions
Superior
regarding that?
Court
Thank you for
downtown.
All right, sir, if you want to step over, we'll
Sus
get you
próximas
paperwork. That'll have that
audiencias
information as
relacionadas a
well.
ese
We've got
caso
Mr. Darby,
serán una
and then
consulta de
Caleb,
actualización
Bell, Chilburn
procesal
will be
el
up
día
next.
15 de mayo,
Hey guys,
seguida
I'm gonna
por
start
una
on
audiencia
one of the streams up.
preliminar
I'll be right
agendada
back, all
para el
right?
día
Hold up.
19 de
Sir, your
mayo.
full name and date of birth?
Ambas serán a las 8:30 de la mañana en el Tribunal Superior ubicado en el centro de la ciudad.
All right, thank you, sir. So you're here for a
On
new
these
case out of
allegations,
the
I
El
am
Mirage
releasing you to
Municipal
the
Court. The
supervision
charges
of
here are one
pretrial
count of
services, so you
endangerment,
will be released
class 1
from custody
misdemeanor, one
without
count of
having to
assault,
post a
also a
bond.
class 1 misdemeanor.
Por
So
esas
in this matter,
acusaciones
because
puede
it is
permitir que
considered to
sea
be a
usted
domestic violence offense
excarcelado
in nature, you are entitled to
bajo
court-appointed
la
counsel, but that
supervisión
will
de
be
la
handled by
Agencia
the court
de
that has your
Control
case.
de
So they will
Procesados, lo cual
address that at
significa
your
que va a ser
arraignment
usted
hearing. That's going to be
excarcelado
on
sin
May
tener que
20th at
depositar
8
fianza.
a.m. at the El Mirage
Once
Municipal
you
Court.
are
The
released
address
from
for that court will
custody,
be
you will
included
be
in your paperwork.
responsible for
I
getting
don't think I saw
yourself
that
to
you had
your
any
court
other criminal
hearing,
history, so I'm going
for
to be releasing you
contacting
on your own
pretrial
recognizance.
services
It is
in
going
the
to be your
packet
promise
that
to
you get
appear.
with
Given the
the
nature of the
contact
offense here,
information
though,
in the packet
you
you
do
get with
have
your
orders
release
that you are not
paperwork,
to return to
and
the
you
scene of the
cannot
offense at this
possess
time,
any
at least
drugs
not till
without
further
a
court
valid
order,
prescription.
and not have contact with the
Una vez
alleged
que sea
victim
usted
in this matter.
excarcelado, será
So
usted
that does mean
responsable
that
de
you would need to find an
presentarse
alternate
a sus
residence,
audiencias
at least again,
futuras,
until further
al
court
igual
order.
que será responsable de reportarse con la Agencia de Control del Procesado.
Right?
Esa
I'll
información
let
va a
you know if you're
aparecer
telling me you're going
en
to
el
go back to
paquete
the
de
house. My only
documentos
other
que
option is
se
to
le
set a
será
bond,
entregado. En
What up,
because
adición
I
a
have to
eso,
ensure that you do
no debe
comply with
encontrar
these
sus
terms given the
tenencia de
nature of the
ningún
charge
tipo de
here.
drogas
So
sin
you
tener
would
una
need to find an find an
receta
alternate
válida.
residence, there's no way
Agua.
around
Do
it.
you
It's not going to
understand
be
all of
permitted
those
to go back
conditions?
there under the
Entiende usted
under
todas
the
esas
circumstances of your
condiciones.
case. Okay?
Yes, yes.
Okay,
All right.
Okay, thank you, sir. If you will wait one
some,
second for your paperwork, then you
information
can
for
head
my
back to your
son
line.
so he can
Gracias,
get
señor. Si
some
espera un
type of
segundo
help
con sus
because
documentos,
we
puede pasar acá a su lado
like
izquierdo.
trying to help him. And
Okay,
he,
Mr. Interpreter, he
like,
was the
failing
only
in
individual I
school,
already show
just-
as requesting
I
a
can't do
Spanish
anything about
interpreter.
that
Could I
here.
ask you to
I'm
please
only
make an
seeing you on
inquiry
the
of the
charges
gallery
you were brought in
before
on.
we
I
excuse you to
understand
make
that
sure we
your
don't miss
son is
anyone
the
that needs
alleged
your
victim in
services?
this matter. You've been
Yes, of
appointed
course,
an
Your
attorney to
Honor, it would be my
represent you,
pleasure.
so you can certainly
Buenas
speak with
tardes.
your
¿Se
attorney
encuentra
regarding the
alguien
charges
más presente
themselves
el día de hoy que
that were
requiera de los
brought here
servicios del
today.
intérprete
But because
judicial?
probable cause was found on the charges that were brought forth, I am going to have to order that you not return to the
Okay,
scene
I'm
and not
told
have any
nobody has
contact with
indicated
your
that they
son.
require your assistance.
So
Thank
that
you for
does mean
joining
you
us.
need to
You
find
are
an
free to
alternate
disconnect.
residence. It's the only
Thank
way
you,
you
Your
can
Honor.
return to your home in person.
Okay, can I
If you need
please
to obtain any
have
personal
Brenna
items, it's using
Minharas
a civil
all the way
standby. That's
into
done by
the courtroom
contacting
behind
local
the
law
podium?
enforcement.
Albert Corrales,
and,
if you would please take
setting
a
up
seat in
a
the first
visit
chair
for
right
them.
inside this door.
So I will warn
Stephen
you that a
Goodman, if you
violation of a
please
no
take a seat
victim
in the
contact
second
order and a
chair.
criminal
Can
release
I have your name
order,
and date of
that's
birth,
what you
please?
have now.
Brianna
That could
Minharas,
constitute aggravated harassment, that's a class 6 felony.
2292.
Thank you very much. You are
Any
here on
additional
an allegation of a
questions
new charge.
regarding
The allegation against you is one count of dangerous drug possession. It is a class 4 felony. I have found
I'm sorry?
probable cause to support that allegation and appointed a lawyer to defend you.
So at this
Your
point,
next
it's
court
until
hearing
further
will
court
be
order.
a status
Your next
conference
court date
May
is on May
7th and then a
20th.
preliminary
That'll be at the
hearing
Elmira
May
Municipal
9th.
Court.
They will
This
both
case
be
is
at
going to be handled
8:30
by
in
the
the
judge out
Superior
there.
Court downtown.
They will make all
Because
further
this is a
determinations.
felony allegation alleged to have been committed while you were on
All right,
pretrial
do you want to
release
step
in a
over? That
different
information will be
felony
included
case,
in
you
your
are
paperwork
not
as well.
eligible for
We
release
do
on
have
bond.
Ms. Bell,
You will be
Kilborn,
held
and then
in
Jessica
custody
Cruz
without
is gonna
bail
be up
at
next.
least until an evidentiary hearing is
Por
held.
agua yesterday
That
and
hearing is
today.
scheduled for May 8th at 1:30 in the
Ay,
afternoon.
ay, ay.
Between now and that hearing
Man.
on the 8th, you will be held without
Hey,
bond.
that's not a good way
Do you
to end the
understand
week
that
right there, ending up in
And your
jail.
date of birth?
Okay, thank you very much. If you'll get your paperwork, you can head back to your left.
All right, thank you. You're here for a
Albert
new case
Corrales,
out of
if you would
Superior
please work
Court.
your way
This is
into the
alleging one count of
courtroom.
possession of
Mr.
dangerous
Goodman, if
drugs
you
and one
shift
count of
over to the
possession of
first chair, and
narcotic
then if I
drugs,
could
both
ask
class
Frank
4 felonies.
Jackson to please take
One
a
count
seat
of
in the
possession of
second
drug
chair.
paraphernalia, that's a class 6 felony.
I'm watching it with my
Public
eyes.
Defender's
Office has been appointed.
Albert
We have a
Corrales,
status conference set May
1887.
16th.
Thank you,
With a
Mr.
preliminary
Corrales. You are
hearing,
here
May
on an
19th,
allegation
both
of a
days
new
are
got it.
charge.
going to be at
That
the Superior
allegation
Court
is
in
one
downtown
count of
Phoenix.
aggravated driving
In
under
this
the
matter, I am
influence.
going to
It
be
is a
following the
class
PSA
4
recommendation.
felony.
You are being released
I
on the order
have
of
found
cognizance. It is
probable
going to be
cause
your
to
promise to
support that
appear.
allegation,
Do you
and
have
I've
any questions
appointed a
regarding
lawyer
that?
to defend you.
All right, if you want to
Your
go
next
step
It's
over,
cold in
we've
there.
got that
will be
paperwork
a
that's over
status
there. We've
conference
got
May
Laughing out my
7th and then a
eyes.
preliminary hearing May
So
9th.
she is the
Both of
last
those
person
at
that was in the
8:30 in
courtroom
the
to be
Superior
seen.
Court downtown.
I've never been in there, but I know those
Because
places
this
could
is a
definitely
felony
get cold.
allegation alleged to have been committed
They don't
while
got
you
no,
were on
they don't,
pretrial
it's,
release in a
it's
different
either
felony
really
case,
hot or
you
really
are not
cold, but
eligible for
more than
release
likely
on bond.
cold.
You will be held in custody without bail at
All right,
least
thank you.
until
So you're
May
here for a new
8th at
case out of
1:30 when
Superior
you have an
Court.
evidentiary
This is alleging
hearing.
one count of
Do you
theft of a
understand that
means of
information?
transportation. It's a
Yes,
class 3 felony.
Thank you, Mr. Corrales.
And one
If you
count of
will work your way
possession
back
of
to your
dangerous
left.
drugs, which is a class 4
Stephen
felony.
Goodman to the
So
podium
in
in the
this matter,
courtroom,
the
please.
public defender's
How is-
office
is
has
there a
been
camera in
appointed. We have a
court?
status
You would
conference
please work
May
your way to the
15,
second
preliminary
chair.
hearing May 19, both at 8:30. I
Can
don't
I
see
have
any
your name and date of birth,
evidence, so
please?
I'm going to be following the PSA recommendation. You are being released on your
Thank
order
you,
of
Mr.
cognizance.
Goodman. You
It's
are
going to
here
be
on
your promise to
allegations of
appear.
new charges.
Given the nature of
The
the offense,
allegations
you'll be
against you are
ordered
one
to
count
not
of
return to the scene
narcotic
of the
drug
offense, not have
possession,
any
a class
contact with the
4
alleged
felony,
victim,
and one count of
or any
criminal
complainant or
trespassing in a
witness, or any
residential
co-defendant
structure,
if there
a
is
class
one.
6
Do you have any
felony.
questions regarding
I
that?
did find probable cause to support the trespassing allegation. I did not find probable cause to support the narcotic drug allegation. My finding of no probable cause does not mean that drug allegation
Does she
is
reside there?
dismissed. It is possible that the county attorney's office will file charges
You
on that
cannot have
allegation.
contact, and I believe
What
it
it
was
does
your
mean
sister's
is that
vehicle that
I
we're
am
talking
not
about. You cannot
considering
have
it, and I'm
contact with your
only
sister.
imposing
Okay.
release conditions on the class
If you want to
6
go ahead and
felony
step over,
criminal
you go ahead and pick up
trespassing.
that paperwork that's
I've
over
appointed
there.
a lawyer to defend you.
Hey, thank you for
Your next
subscribing,
court hearing
Les.
will be a status
Here that we
conference
need to
May
put on
7th,
record.
and then a
I'll go ahead and
preliminary
start
hearing
with
May
Jesse
9th. They'll both be
Venegas.
at 8:30 in the
Date of
Superior
birth
Court downtown.
1/4/2007.
Because that
I
new
should see
allegation
if the
supported by
house called
probable
due to
cause is a
being
felony
unable to
offense
function.
alleged to have been committed while you were on pretrial release
It was,
in a
there's some,
different
there's a lot of
felony case.
commotion
Or
back
you
there.
were
Not
new case
eligible
out of
for release
Superior
on
Court
bond
alleging
on
one
that
count of possession
allegation.
of a weapon by a
You will be
prohibited
held
person,
in
a class
custody
4
without
felony,
bail
one count of
at least
endangerment,
until
a class
May
6
8th
felony,
when
one
you have
count
an
of discharging a
evidentiary
firearm,
hearing
also
at
a class 6 felony.
1:30. Do
With
you
the offense date
understand that
of February
information?
2nd of
Yeah.
2025,
All
and
right.
the
Thank
public
you, Mr.
defender's
Goodman.
been
If you'll get your
appointed. Status
paperwork, you can
conference
head
is
back
set
to
May
your left.
7 at 8:30.
Frank Jackson,
Evidentiary
if you would
hearing
please
May
work
8
your
at
way
1:30,
into the
and a
courtroom.
preliminary
Patrick
hearing May
Kelly,
9th at
if you
8:30.
would please work your
And
way
in
to
this
the
matter, I
second
showed you
chair.
currently on felony release. That's going to be in
It's afternoon. Good afternoon.
yes.
Can I have your name and date of birth?
CR 2024-145-200.
And what's your date of birth?
So he is being held without bond at this
Thank
time.
you very much, Mr. Jackson.
Aurelia
You are here
Valenzuela,
on an
date of birth
arrest warrant
99
issued
of
after a
84,
direct complaint was
also
filed.
held
A
co-lectured
direct
due
complaint
to
is a
being
written
combative.
document
It's your
that
new case out of
alleges new
Superior Court alleging
allegations
one count
against
of
you.
aggravated
The
assault, class
allegations
3
in
felony,
that
public
direct
defender's been
complaint are
appointed.
2 counts of
Status
aggravated
conference set
driving
May
under the
7,
influence,
preliminary
both
hearing May
class
9, both
4
at 8:30.
felonies alleged
that
to
matter,
have
there
been
is a
committed November
$15,000
1st of
secured appearance bond with
2024,
the additional orders not
and
to
one
return to
count
the scene
of
of the offense.
resisting
Have
arrest,
any
a
contact
Class
with any
1
alleged victim,
misdemeanor,
complainant, or
alleged to have
witness
been committed the
who
same
cannot
day,
possess any
November
weapon
1st of
Jacob
2024.
Yanez, date of birth 11/12
On the
89.
allegations in that
Mr.
direct
He is a
complaint, I
household
have
due to being
appointed a
mad,
lawyer
lost,
to
or injured
defend
himself.
you.
So in
Your
this
next
matter, he's
court
here for a
hearings
case
will
out of the
be a
Westminster
status
Justice
conference
Court.
May
The charges
7th,
are one
and then a
count of
preliminary
threatening,
hearing May
intimidating, class 1
9th, both of
misdemeanor,
those
one count
at
of disorderly
8:30 in the
conduct,
Superior
one
Court
count of
downtown.
resisting arrest, and one count of
Because
possession of
the
drug
allegations in the
paraphernalia,
direct
all of those class
complaint
1
are
misdemeanors.
felony
One
offenses
count of
alleged to have
obstruction,
been
class
committed
2
while you were
misdemeanor,
on
one count of
pretrial
criminal
release
trespass
in
with
a
30 days,
different
that's a class 3
felony case.
misdemeanor.
You are not
Public
eligible
Defender's
for
Office
release
has
on
been
bond.
appointed.
That means you will be held in
Due to the
custody
bond
without
issue,
bond at
6.1,
least
arraignment
until May
hearing is
8th
set
at
May 6th
1:30 when you have an
at the
evidentiary
Westminster
But James,
hearing.
I don't see
Did you have a
In this
question?
matter, there is a
I did have
$500
a
How come there's nobody up there? Who is she talking to?
Any alleged victim, complainant, or witness.
I got
With Nicholas Roldan,
I
date
got
of
on
birth
probation
12/20 of 1980.
when I was
I show
arrested
he
for
is
the
a
DUI
household
and
due to
Kenya.
being also
So I didn't get
unable
on
to
probation
function
until
in the
after
general
Hey,
population.
thank you,
for the
thank you,
DUI,
Candy.
and then
He's got
Highly
three
appreciate
separate
that.
that's when I
cases
got on
here today. All
probation.
three
I
of these
love
are
the
probation
stickers.
violations.
I got more
One
coming.
separate issue.
Talk to your lawyer about that. Talk to the lawyer. I appointed you about that
Five,
because
the public
what
defender's
you're
been
telling
appointed.
me doesn't
Revocation arraignment hearing
match
set on May 8th
what
at
the legal
8:30. And
procedure
the
of
bond
the
in
case
each
would
warrant
be.
been
So I think
affirmed.
probably
The
what
first
happened
one's
is you were
$500,
arrested on
second
those
one is
DUI charges,
$250,
you
the
came
third one
through
is
here, you were
$100.
released, no
Those are all
charges were
secured
filed,
appearance
and
bonds.
these are the
This order
charges
will
on
include
that
contact
arrest.
within 72 hours
and
of probation.
I never got the
I show that is
paperwork to
everybody.
go to court, so I didn't even know. I thought,
Yeah, I'm not saying you because you
Damn,
didn't go to court.
son.
I'm saying you
Damn,
because
she
new
was on
charges
fire.
were
Hey, so
filed.
right
So
now,
this is not because you
in
didn't
about
go to
9
court.
minutes,
And
Pima County is
you
about to start up
the
right now,
way
so we'll
that
just
you
go ahead and
found-
hang out right
find
now
out that
for
these
Pima,
charges were filed
if
is
you
because
will.
this arrest warrant
Man,
was
hey,
issued.
I haven't
So
been on for
talk
a
to
few
your
days.
lawyer about how all
I've
of
been
that
missing
played
in
out.
action. I've
Your
been
lawyer can give
MIA,
you
but
much
don't
more
worry, I got
information.
messages.
Yeah, and,
James,
it's
where
the
are you?
end of
James, we
like
missed
the
you.
end of the
James,
month.
are
I
you
need to pay
okay?
my- I don't wanna
James,
pay.
are you in?
Hoping
Are you
I
are you
be
restricted?
outside to pay my rent,
James,
so
are
I
you
don't
in jail?
lose my pay.
I don't have
Crib, I'll be
authority
back
under
Thursday,
Arizona law
Thursday,
to do
8 o'clock,
anything
I'll be
other
back.
than hold you without bond today.
Rise and shine if you will. Hey, if you haven't
Okay,
done so,
any other
please do so.
questions,
Hit
Mr.
that
Jackson?
follow button. It's free 99. Doesn't cost you anything. It's free for you. It's free for me. Don't be a Scrooge McDuck. Don't be a Mr. Krabby Patty,
When I
if
do
you
go to
will.
court,
Any
what
board
should
of
I be
parole hearings?
expecting?
Nah, man.
Talk to your lawyer.
We got
Your
hit.
lawyer
You
can
know,
answer that question
I
for
really
you.
haven't been doing them
All
that
thank you,
much,
Mr.
but
Jackson.
I don't. We don't have anything
Andrade,
scheduled
if you
for
would
today,
please work
but
your
I'll
way
go ahead and
into
keep
the
it out, man.
courtroom.
Hey, thank you for
Ruben
that daily heart.
Seahad
Thank you for
Jr.,
that,
if you
Princess.
would
Highly
please work your way to the
appreciate that.
second chair.
Let me
Can I
see.
have your
Hey,
name
thank
and
you,
date of birth, please?
Dan. Thank you.
Anthony
Highly
Andrade,
appreciate that
11/30,
follow right there.
Thank
Hey,
you very much,
Bill,
Mr.
cute,
Andrade. You are here on
Bill,
4 different
cool
matters.
things.
The
Thank you
first
for
matter
that. Highly
that you're here,
appreciate
well,
that.
the
Thank you
first
for that.
2 matters you're
Flower
here on
list.
are
Highly
Maricopa
appreciate
County
that.
matters.
Date is
The
still
first
going.
of
Yup.
those is an
Date is
allegation of a
going
new
right now.
charge. It is 1
It
count
is.
of
It
possession
is.
of weapons.
So 8 more minutes
Possession of
before
a weapon by a prohibited person, a
Pima
class
starts
4
up right
felony.
here.
I did
Eggs,
find
hey,
probable
please follow
cause to
James if
support
you will.
that
Thank you,
allegation,
highly
and I
appreciate
appointed a
that.
lawyer to defend
Hey,
you.
Brandy,
Your
thank
next
you for that
court
purchase
hearing
of
on
that
that
subscription.
Maricopa
Not
County
required, but
new
highly
charge will be
appreciate
a
it.
status conference May 7th, and then you'll have a preliminary hearing May 9th. They'll both be at 8:30 in the Superior Court downtown. On that allegation,
I
you
wish
have
I
a
could spend more time,
$10,000
you know,
secured appearance
than
bond.
I have, you
The
know, in the
second
last week. But
Maricopa
sometimes
matter
it's
you're
just, you
here
know,
on
my life's
is
a little
a
bit hectic
Maricopa
and
County
whatnot. So
probation violation
I'm
warrant.
prevented from jumping
In
on
that
these
case,
lives.
the
But
petition
hey,
to revoke your
today and
probation
tomorrow, I
alleges you
got you
violated
guys. I'm gonna
term
be on
1.
here
I
today and
appointed a
tomorrow
lawyer
as
for
much
you
as I
in that
can.
Maricopa County probation
You know, my
case.
daughter's in
Also, your
school right
next
now, so I
hearing
got a
in
few
that
hours on
matter
my
will be
hands.
a
So we're gonna be
revocation
right
arraignment
here,
May
right
8th
here,
at 8:30.
right now. Hey, what up,
On
Brian? How's
that
it going?
warrant, you have
Let
a
me see.
$50
I
secured
get
appearance
it.
bond.
Yeah, but yeah, no. If
The
I
other
could
2
spend more
matters
time,
you're
I
here on
would.
are both failure to
But
appear
you know, it'd
warrants
be like
issued
that
by the
sometimes.
Yavapai
You know,
County
bills be
Superior
stacking up,
Court.
so I gotta,
In
you know,
those
gotta go
2
sell my
cases, if
plasma.
you
You know,
already
sell
have a
some of this,
court-appointed lawyer
some
from
of this
Yavapai County, that lawyer will
LWOP,
continue to represent
if
you.
you will,
If
you know,
you
try to sell
don't
a
have
lung
one,
or
the Yavapai
a
County
heart or
Court will
something.
appoint
You know,
one for you when
so I
you get
could,
to
you
your
know, at
next
least buy some
hearing.
eggs whenever
Your
I
next
can.
hearing on both of
Let me
those
see,
Yavapai County ones will be an arraignment hearing May 6th at 8:30, both in the Yavapai County Superior Court. On each of the 2 Yavapai warrants, you have a $10,000
what
secured
are you
appearance
people
bond.
doing now that, man?
So that means your total bond for all
I don't know
4
what they're
matters
doing
will
right now
be
without me. You know, hopefully they haven't found the
$30,050.
replacement
It
yet,
is
you know,
all
because I've
secured
been seeing, you
appearance,
know,
so
I've
you
been
could
hearing.
use the bonding company for that.
What was that?
If you post that bond and you're released, in addition to getting
Did
yourself
you guys
to
hear
all
that?
of those
'Cause I
next
heard that.
hearings, you are ordered
What
not
was
to
that? Let
possess
me
any
see.
weapons or any drugs without a valid prescription. Do you understand those conditions?
Yes, ma'am. I wanted to ask you something. My mother was telling me about this.
We are on
programs
in
like transfer change or
let me close
something
this
like that
window
in
here.
this jail. I was wondering if I could be to go to that.
I don't know anything about that. This is the first I'm hearing of that program. If it's a program offered in the jails through MCSO, you can ask jail staff what the terms or conditions of that are.
So I could post, if I posted the bond for 30,000, I'd be released.
It's 30,050, but yes.
Right here. You guys can
Good morning. Can
Okay,
we
thank you, Mr. Andrew.
start
There's your
early?
paperwork. You can
Hell
head back to your
Your
locker.
Honors.
Hold up. James, we can't see
Patrick
nothing.
Kelly
Hold
to the
up,
podium
hold
in the
up.
courtroom, please.
We're here.
Ellie or
Yes, sir.
Stein,
Waiting.
if you would please
We have
work your way to
ours
the
here.
second
Let me
chair.
see. Live stream.
Let's do it.
Microsoft
Can I have your name and date of birth,
Go
please?
ahead and get
Patrick Kelly.
Let's do it. Let's do the damn thing, if
Thank you,
will.
Mr.
This is gonna
Kelly.
be
You are
this is gonna
here
be Polk
on two
County, if you
different
will.
matters.
James, I
The
can't see
first
because
matter that you're
you're in the
here
way. I
on
can't see
is
the
an
honor
allegation
there.
of a new
Hold up.
charge. That allegation is one
This
count
is
of
Jeff
theft. It is a
Simonson,
class
4B1, ready to
6
go on record.
felony. I have found probable cause to support that allegation, and I've appointed the public defender's office to represent you. Your next court hearings
Alright,
on
there we
that
go. We got a
allegation
clear
will be
picture
a
of the
status
individuals right there.
conference
How's that
May
right
7th and
there?
a
How's that
preliminary
looking
hearing
right
May
there?
9th.
Can
They'll
you
both
guys
be
see
at
those
8:30
two
in the
individuals
Superior
right there?
Court downtown.
All right.
On that new
First case
theft
I have
allegation, you have a
is
$5,000 secured appearance bond. The second matter that you're here on is a bench
County
warrant
is
issued by
Iowa.
the drug court when you failed to appear at a
versus
compliance
Christopher
hearing.
James Jackson.
I believe you
Christopher
already have a
James.
lawyer
Hold on, I'll be
assigned
right
to
back.
you
I
in
got-
that
I'll be
case
back in 2
assigned to the
seconds.
drug court. That lawyer will continue to represent
All right,
you.
sir, can you raise
Your
your right
next
hand?
court hearing on that
Do you
case
swear to
will
tell the
be
truth,
a
the
status
whole truth, and
conference
nothing
May
but the truth?
7th. That one will
Yes,
be at
sir.
9:30 in the
Thank you.
Superior
Put your
Court
hand down,
downtown.
state your name.
On that drug court
Your name
warrant,
is
you have a
Christopher James Jackson,
$1,000
sir.
secured appearance bond.
Thank
So
you,
your
sir.
total
Can
bond
you,
will be
can I get your appearance from the
$6,000. It is
department?
all secured appearance.
Chris
If
Laney
you
for the
post
State
that and
Attorney's
you are
Office on
released,
behalf
you
of the
cannot
Department of
return to
Revenue,
the
Your Honor.
scene where the alleged new
All
theft
right, good
allegation
morning.
took place. You
So
can't have
this
contact
is
with any alleged
his
victims
first
or
appearance
witnesses
hearing.
of that allegation, and you cannot
On this
possess any
one,
drugs without a
I'm going to
valid
read some
prescription.
numbers out, sir,
Do you
and then
understand
I'm
those
going
conditions?
to ask
Yes.
a couple
Okay,
questions.
thank you, Mr.
and
Kelly.
The
Is the
state
paperwork ready,
attorney's going
Lee?
to ask you a couple
Or no?
questions.
Yes? Okay.
So the last payment that I
Thank you,
saw
Mr.
on
Kelly.
this
You can
one
step back
was
to your left.
October 29th of 2014.
Ruben Seja to the podium in the courtroom, please.
Outstanding
Octavio Munoz,
delinquency is
if I could ask you to please work your way to the second chair.
$41,738.06. There's an arrearage of
Can I have your name and date of birth, please, sir?
Ruben
$642.18.
Seja, Junior, 10-10-89.
Status.
Thank you, Mr. Seja.
And then,
You are
so
here on
there's the,
allegations of new
total
charges.
outstanding balance
Those
of
allegations are one count of unlawful flight from a law enforcement vehicle, that's a class 5 felony, and one count of drug
Yes, Your Honor.
paraphernalia possession, a
Note that a
class
lot
1
of the
misdemeanor.
delinquency
I have
is,
found probable cause to
because
support those
at least
allegations, and I've
read
appointed
your
the public defender's
supplemental
office to
petition that
represent
you
you.
filed, sir, and
Your
so
next court
notes
hearings
that
will
you
be a
stated that
status
you were
conference May 7th,
incarcerated
and then
for
a
about 11
preliminary
years,
hearing
so
May
that's how
9th, both
that
of them at
got us
8:30 in the Superior
like that.
Court downtown. On those allegations,
Do
you have a
you- can I get your address, sir?
$2,500 secured appearance
609
bond. You
Spruce
could
Street,
use a
Madison,
bonding company to
Florida, sir.
post it. If you
Okay,
post
that's
that
the
bond
right,
and you are released
that's
from
the right
custody, you
address.
cannot possess any weapons, and you
But you
cannot
missed
possess
court,
or
I think it
consume
said
any
in your
alcohol or
supplemental
drugs without a
petition
valid
because you didn't have
prescription.
transportation.
Do you
Is that-
understand
is
those
that right?
conditions?
Yes,
Yes.
sir.
Thank you, Mr. Seja. If you'll
That's
step
why
back to your
this
left, I think your
happened.
paperwork is over here.
And then the second question I have is there's.
Ellie or
if
signs
I
to
were
the podium
order
in
for
the
your
courtroom,
release today,
please.
is there anything
Eva
else
Foxworth,
holding
if you would please work
in
your way to the
custody?
second chair.
No, sir.
All right.
Good afternoon,
Ms.
Your Honor.
Laney's
Good
gonna ask you
afternoon.
some
Can I have your name and
questions
date of
now.
birth,
Go ahead,
please?
Ms. Laney.
Your signs,
Thank you, Your Honor.
September 23rd, 1981.
Mr.
Thank you,
Jackson, are
Mr.
you
Stein.
working?
You are here on a bench
That
warrant
is
issued by the
time, ma'am.
Superior Court when you failed to appear
Are
at
you
a
looking for
status
work?
conference in an
Yes, ma'am.
existing, looks like felony drug paraphernalia
Who do
and
you live with
tampering
on Spruce
case.
Street?
My records
I
indicate
live
you
with my
already
mom.
have a lawyer assigned to you in that matter. That lawyer will continue to defend you. You don't have to raise
Did
your
she
hand. You
lend
can
you
ask
a
questions here at the
payment
end.
on your child support
Okay, your
case?
next court hearing will be a status conference May
Can you
7th
repeat that,
at
ma'am?
8:30 in the
Did
Superior
she
Court
loan you some money to
downtown.
make a
On
payment
that
on your
warrant,
child
you have a
support case so you can get out of
$2,500
jail?
secured appearance bond.
Well,
What's your
it's time to
question?
deal
I
his bills
just
too,
went
so I
to
don't
that
have no
court
clue about that, ma'am.
on, a couple of days ago.
All
Are you
right.
doing any side
16th,
jobs to
I
earn some
believe. I
money?
went over there.
Yes, ma'am.
Had
I mow
my
yards,
daughter
I paint
downtown
houses.
at the Phoenix Municipal
God,
Court
you know,
for
whatever I
these two
could do,
tampering with
ma'am.
evidence and,
Okay. How much do you
and
make a
tampering
week
with
doing
evidence and
odd jobs?
drug possession paraphernalia. I
I
went
know
to
what
those
about
courts and we went
$300
there
a week.
and because I had my dog with me, my dog's not fully service animal yet. I had them, the
Did I miss
downstairs
anything? Did
officers
anything good
downstairs
happen?
of the court going up
Your
the
Honor,
stairs.
we
They
would
scheduled me
request a
for
$47K
payment
in
of
child
Or not, they scheduled me because I was there,
$314.71
and they scheduled me
based
for
on his
May
side jobs
14th, I believe, to
and
show back up to court
staying with
to
his
get it all
mother.
taken care of.
His
I went there
mother?
at that
and then
court.
to
What the
adjudicate
what?
Here's what I'll
his
tell you. I
balance.
don't show any record that you had a
Haters.
hearing in
Have a
this
look for
case
work.
on the 16th. I don't
Let me
show
see
a
this
record that
shit.
you have a
Are
hearing
you
in May
requesting
on this.
a
The
deferred
only
purge, or
pending
are you
hearing,
requesting that?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court papers.
Deferred purge.
the
30
only pending
days.
hearing on this case was the hearing on the
Sir, do
22nd,
you
that
think
when
you
you
can
weren't
make
at, this warrant was generated
He
for.
was a
So
prisoner
if you
for
think
11
that
years.
this is some
Yes,
error
sir.
or there's been
30
some
days?
mistake made, you'll have
Yes,
to talk
sir.
to your lawyer to get that cleared up.
Okay.
I'm not saying that you're wrong.
okay.
I'm saying that it doesn't
So,
appear as what you're describing was in
I'll
this
grant that
particular case
request.
because it doesn't match the record of hearings that you have in this case. So I don't know if you have multiple cases or if there's different things going on, but talk to your lawyer. Your lawyer is the one one that will have to get any errors cleared up.
Okay. Do you see anything that I did go to court on the 16th of last
I
month?
don't show that you had a
June
hearing at all
2nd.
on the 16th. So there is no record of anything that was supposed to have happened or
Failure to
happened
make
in
that
this
payment
case on the
timely
16th.
may result in the issuance.
Okay,
of
any other
another
questions, Mr.
arrest,
Stein?
Is there any
which
way
is
to get that bond?
This is
available?
Florida.
if you're
Talk
just
to your
trying to
lawyer. Your
make
lawyer
these
can petition
payments.
the trial court. The
We'll
court that
adjudicate
issues
that
that warrant.
balance,
Okay.
and then we'll
When my next court date is
reactivate.
What up,
the
man?
Your next court date is May 7th.
$26 and
Today
You
is
don't
what?
understand.
is the
It's expensive.
$26
May
and
1st.
23 cents.
Okay.
All right,
Yeah,
thank you,
it's
Mr. Stein.
5245, Your Honor.
It's expensive everywhere.
Octavio Munoz to the podium in the courtroom.
Hey, you know
please.
what?
Daniel Garcia, if you would please work your way to the second
That's why
chair.
you shouldn't have kids.
To pay against your arrears.
You shouldn't have kids just to have kids.
Can I have your name and date of birth, please?
Perfect example right there.
February 9th, 1985.
Damn, James, you're
Thank you,
cold.
Mr. Munoz. You are here on 3 different matters. The first 2
It's expensive.
are
You shouldn't
probation
have kids.
violation warrants.
Like, you shouldn't
In
just have
both of
kids.
those
Just, if you
cases,
can't
the
afford kids, you
petitioner
shouldn't have kids.
probation alleged that
The
you
look
have
for
violated
border
terms
search is
3
basically
and
show you
5.
what the
I
department
have
latest
appointed a
court you
lawyer
got
for
that.
you in both of those probation
All
cases.
of
Your
it.
next court hearing
Based on
will
what I
be
saw,
a
you are
revocation
trying to do
arraignment
that.
May 8th at
Yes, sir.
8:30 in the probation court
Do you have
downtown.
anything else you want
On
to
those
ask?
2
Any
probation
questions?
warrants, you have a total secured
Wow.
appearance
Agreed.
bond of $1,000.
I haven't.
The third matter that you're here on is an allegation of a new charge. That allegation is 1 count of dangerous drug possession for sale, a class 2 felony. I did not find probable cause to support that allegation. So I am appointing a lawyer to represent you because there's a possibility that the county attorney's office will file charges on that allegation, but I am not imposing any release conditions on that new allegation in addition to the conditions you have on your probation warrant. So I'm giving you a lawyer in the event that drug sales case
Where's
is
Maria?
charged. But on that,
I think you know
that
what?
matter,
I think this is
you don't
child
have any
support.
additional release requirements except
If you
for
will.
one, and it's that you go to court hearing. So you do have a status conference May
No.
15th and a preliminary hearing May
This
19th
is
on
Polk
that
County.
new drug sales allegation. You might go to court on the 15th, and the court will say nothing's been filed,
This
you're free to
case,
go, you
Polk
don't have
County.
to come back on the 19th.
October 25th,
But if the county attorney
2024,
files charges on that drug
there's a
sales allegation and you
delinquency
don't go to court on May
$1,838.55,
15th, that court's going to issue a warrant for your arrest, which means you'd have to come back here and do this again at some point if and when you're arrested on that warrant. So $1,000 secured appearance bond on the
52,000?
violation warrant. If you post
Damn, hopefully I didn't blow
that, you
your
have to get
eardrum.
yourself to the probation court on the 8th.
Sir, what did you
Regardless of
What up,
what happens with the probation warrant,
408
go
North
back
Avenue,
to court on the
Haines City, Florida,
15th to see what's going on with the new
33844.
allegation. Do you understand all of that information?
50? Did I say
Okay,
52,000
thank
out
you,
loud?
Mr. Munoz. You can step back and get your paperwork.
My dad owes 80?
Eva Foxworth to the podium in the courtroom, please. Nolan Castleman, if you please work your way to the second chair.
Was sent to that address. How come you missed it?
I haven't got it because I just got back to that address.
Can I have your name and
'cause
date of
I
birth,
just moved
please?
back from Tarpon Springs to that address like 4 months ago.
2879.
Oh, okay.
Thank you, Ms. Foxworth. You are here
that
on
what
2
happened?
different matters. The first is allegations of new
Well,
charges.
if that's the case.
Those allegations are 1
Yes, sir.
count of
That's
dangerous
why
drug possession,
written
that's a class
position for
4
your
felony,
arrest, which is
and 1
court.
count of drug paraphernalia possession, which is a class 6 felony.
sir.
I did
That's
find
it,
probable
yeah.
cause to support
Are
those
you in
allegations,
custody
and
for
I
any
appointed the
reason
public
other
defender's
than
office to represent you.
the,
Your next court hearings
other
on
than
those
this, right?
allegations will
No,
be
sir,
a
just
status
child support,
conference
just-
May
Oh, I didn't
7th,
even
and then
hear.
a preliminary hearing May 9th,
that's a
both
good
of them
idea,
at
Katie.
8:30 in the Superior
you.
Court downtown.
Mr. Jimenez,
On
do you
those
have a
new
doctor's note
allegations,
saying
you have
you
a
cannot work?
$50
No,
secured
No, man,
appearance
not right
bond.
now.
The second matter that you're
When's the
here
next
on
time you
is
go
an
back and see the
allegation that
doctor?
those new
I was
charges
supposed to
violated
have
term
a
1 of
Zoom
your
meeting
probation.
today with them.
I've
but they
also
picked me
appointed a
up
lawyer
at,
for
like,
you in the
10:40
probation
this
case.
morning.
Your next hearing in
I was
that
supposed to have
matter
a
will
Zoom
be a
meeting at, like,
revocation
3-something
arraignment
this
May
afternoon
8th
with
at
my
8:30.
psychiatrist and my
On
therapist.
the
Your
probation
psychiatrist?
matter, you have a
Therapist?
I would
$500
ask to
secured
release
appearance
him
bond. So your total
from
bond will be
ROR and
$550.
request
It
that he
is all
follow up
secured
with the
appearance.
Department of Revenue
If you
with a
post
doctor's
that and
note
you're
stating
released
that
from
he cannot
custody, you
work.
cannot possess any
sir.
weapons or any drugs
Okay.
without a valid prescription. Do you understand those
I need one of
conditions?
those notes. Where can I get one of those notes? I need 2 notes.
I will know.
Daniel
there's one
Garcia, if
kind
you
of
would
thing I
please
think-
work
I
your
don't
way
know that
into
either
the
of you are
courtroom.
aware
Samuel
of on this
Estrada,
that
if I could ask you to please work your way to the
reviewed.
second chair.
But there was an order.
me
Will you
up.
pull your
on
arms
his
out just while you're at the
motion
What's up,
to
podium? I know it's
Mercedes?
cold in there. And then give me your name and date of birth.
Or at least to place it in
Daniel.
abeyance.
Anthony
That was
Garcia,
issued.
I'll take one too, please.
Thank you, Mr. Garcia. You are here
That
on
order
3
didn't
different
actually
matters.
rule on that
The
motion.
first
It
one
just
is
said it
allegations
should be
of new
heard after
charges.
he was released
Those
from
allegations are
custody.
1
That-
count of
that
narcotic
motion
drug
that he
possession,
filed
a
is
class
still
4 felony, 1
technically
count of drug
outstanding.
paraphernalia possession, a
But
class
I will
6 felony,
grant
and 1
the,
count of failing to obey a police officer, a
grant for
class
his
2
release
misdemeanor.
and
I did
order
find
that
probable cause
he
to
has
support
to
those new allegations,
update-
and I
how do
appointed
you
the
want me to
public
phrase it,
defender's
Miss
office
Leighton?
to represent you.
file with the
Your
clerk.
next court hearings
Thank you
will
for
be
that.
a status
He could
conference
file a
May
doctor's
7th,
note
and then
with
a
the clerk
preliminary
saying you
hearing
cannot
May
work, then that
9th.
way
They
the
will both
department
be
of
at
Revenue
8:30 in the
receive
a
Superior
copy
Court
of it.
downtown. The other 2 matters
Thank
you're
you,
here
Public
on
Defender
are
Hart.
allegations that
Your
those
Honor,
new
with regard
charges you've violated term 1 of your probation. I've also appointed a lawyer for you in both of those probation cases. Your next court hearing in the probation matters will be a revocation arraignment hearing. It will be May 8th at 8:30 in the probation court downtown.
On each of these three matters, you have a $500 secured appearance bond. That means your total bond will be $1,500. It is all secured appearance. If you post that and you are released from custody, you cannot return to the scene where you were arrested, and you cannot possess any weapons or any drugs without a valid prescription.
Yes, Your Honor, that'd be fine.
Do you understand those conditions?
Okay,
thank you, Mr. Garcia. You can step back and get your paperwork.
Sir, do you have any questions for me?
Nolan Castleman, if you would please work your way into the courtroom. Kylie Mariano, if you'd please work your way to the second chair.
Thank you.
What?
Can I have your name and date of birth, please?
Nolan Castleman, 7/25/1993.
Thank you, Mr. Castleman. You are here on a probation violation warrant. A petition to revoke your probation alleges that you have violated terms 3 and 5. I've appointed a lawyer to defend you. Your next court hearings will be just one. Your next court hearing will be a revocation arraignment May 8th at 8:30 in the probation court downtown.
This is the first time I've been to this one so early, so trying to figure out the
if you post that and you are released from custody, you cannot possess any weapons or any drugs without a valid prescription. Do you understand those conditions?
Man, ever since
Thank you, Mr. Councilman. You can work your way to your left and get your paperwork.
Man,
Samuel Estrada, if you would please work your way into the courtroom.
I've been searching
Benny
for other
Carvajal,
streams
if you would please
in the
work your
mornings
way to
and
the
whatnot,
second
so,
chair.
I hope he's in an angry judge.
Can I have your name and date of birth, please?
I think this one might be over, but I think another one should be starting up. As a matter of fact, let me double check right now.
9/13/2002.
Thank you, Mr. Estrada. You are here on a probation violation warrant. A petition to revoke your probation alleges that you have violated terms 1, 3, and 5. I've appointed a lawyer to defend you. Your next court hearing will be a probation revocation arraignment hearing. It will take place May 8th at 8:30 in the probation court downtown. On that warrant, you have a $250 secured appearance bond.
If you post starts at 9. Yeah, but I'm looking for other streams now to try to switch it up. Give you guys a variety. If you want, I know Pima is a bit boring with that one judge, so. Trying to find something for the 9 a.m. crowd, if you will.
You have to post a bond in order to be eligible for release.
Okay.
Let me check if there's anything going on.
I was wondering if there's like an alternative option, like rehab or something.
Not today, no. So today, the only option to get out of custody is to post that bond.
Indeed, we are.
Any other questions, Mr. Estrada?
Let's see this one.
Okay, thank you very much. You can step back and get your paperwork.
I found out a few other.
Kylie Mariano to the podium in the courtroom, please. Troy Ledette Leidhoff.
Trying to find other.
If you would work your way to the second chair, please. Can I have your name and date of birth?
Has been crazy.
Thank you, Ms. Mariano. You are here on 2 probation violation warrants.
What's been going on over
there? Petitions to revoke your probation in 2 different matters. Both of them allege violations of terms 3, 4, 7, and 15. I think that you have a lawyer already in these 2 cases. It's the same cases that you were seen on that are, I think, currently pending in the drug court. So I think you already have a lawyer in those 2 cases, so that lawyer is going to continue to represent you. You're going to have another hearing, though. So in addition to the hearing that you got on the drug court warrants, you'll now have a probation revocation arraignment hearing May 8th at 8:30, also in those 2 cases. On each of those probation warrants, you have a $50 cash bond. So in addition to the monetary bonds you got before, you'll now have an additional $100 cash bond on those 2 cases. In reality, it doesn't really matter too much because you're being held without bond on the one. So you will see the judge before. You'll see the probation judge likely before a determination is made as to whether you're eligible for release on the case that you're being held without bond on. So when you go to court next, talk to your lawyer, let your lawyer know all of the cases that you have a bond on. Your lawyer can talk to the next judge and get that all kind of taken care of, and hopefully everything can get put on the same track and go forward on the same calendar, so you have just one hearing date for all your cases going forward. Okay, any questions for me, Ms. Mariano? All right, thank you very much. You can step back and get your paperwork. Benny Carvajal to the podium in the courtroom, please. Carlos Coda, if you would please work your way to the second chair.
Watch, I don't know. Is that Missouri? Is that Missouri's?
Can I have your name?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I couldn't tell you.
Benny Carvajal.
But right now, we'll wait. I'm on
1970.
Thank you, Mr. Carvajal.
You are here on allegations of new charges. The allegations against you are one count of being in control of a means of transportation unlawfully. It is a Class 3 felony. And one count of driving on a suspended driver's license. That's a Class 1 misdemeanor. I did find probable cause to support these allegations. I have appointed the Public Defender's Office to represent you. Your next court hearings will be a status conference May 15th and then a preliminary hearing May 19th. They will both be at 8:30 in the Superior Court downtown. I am releasing you to the direction of pretrial services, so you will be released from custody. You do not need to post a bond. Once you are out of custody, you will be responsible for getting yourself to those 2 court hearings. You'll also be required to make contact with pretrial services. You can do that by calling them. Their contact information will be in a packet that you get with your release paperwork, so please keep both of those things. Once you're out of custody, you cannot have contact with any alleged victims, witnesses, or co-defendants, if there are any and you know who they are. You also cannot possess any drugs without a valid prescription. Do you understand those conditions?
I do.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Carvajal. You can step back and get your paperwork. Troy Ladhoff, if you please work your way into the courtroom. Stephanie Sword, if you please work your way to the second chair. Okay, good afternoon, sir. I'm sorry if I mispronounced your name. Can you state it and give me your date of birth?
Yes, ma'am, no problem. It's Troy Ladhoff.
Damn, really?
Okay, and what's your date of birth?
12/21/71.
Thank you very much, Mr. Ladhoff. Okay, you are here on an allegation of a new charge. That allegation is one count of interfering with judicial proceedings by disobeying a court order. It is a Class 1 misdemeanor. I did find probable cause to support that allegation, and I determined that you are entitled to a court-appointed lawyer. That lawyer, though, is going to be appointed for you by the next judge you see at your next court hearing.
Ma'am, I can afford to get a private counsel.
Okay, so are you declining a court-appointed lawyer?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I will change that then, and I will say that you are not entitled to a court-appointed lawyer. So it sounds like you know what that means, but that means you will have to hire a lawyer to defend you.
Yes, ma'am. I just asked for an adequate amount of time to be able to obtain.
So your next court hearing is set for May 21st at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. It'll be in the Goodyear Municipal Court. I don't have control over that court hearing, so to the extent, it's now May 1st, to the extent 20 days is insufficient to allow you to find private counsel, what you will want to do is keep your release paperwork and contact the Goodyear court. So if for some reason you can't make that court hearing date or that doesn't work for you, you'll have to call the the Goodyear court, work with them for a new court hearing.
Ooh, I found one.
I'm going to
release
you on your own recognizance, so you will get out of custody, no bond required. Once you are out of custody,
should I switch it or should I stay here?
The alleged victim or complainant, the reporting party of this alleged offense. You cannot possess any weapons or consume any alcohol or drugs without a valid prescription. To the extent any orders
all right, this is a new one. I've never done this one. Okay, we're going to switch it up right now.
Upon you, you are also ordered to strictly comply with the terms of those orders.
Understandable.
Okay.
So this one that I'm about to switch it over to, we've never done before.
No, ma'am.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Ladhoff. We're going to reprint your paperwork since we changed that appointment of counsel. So this officer will come get it and bring it out to you if you want to take a step back to your left.
Thank you.
Thank you. Carlos Coda to the podium in the courtroom, please. Donnie Starkkins, if you would please work your way to the second chair. Can I have your name and date of birth, please?
Carlos Alvaro Coda, 217-1994.
Thank you very much. You are here on an arrest warrant issued after a direct complaint was filed. A direct complaint is a written document that alleges new allegations against you. The allegations in that direct complaint are one count of dangerous drug possession, a Class 4 felony, and one count of drug paraphernalia possession, a Class 6 felony. I have appointed a lawyer to defend you against those allegations. Your next court hearings will be a status conference May 15th and then a preliminary hearing May 19th. They'll both be at 8:30 in the Superior Court downtown. I am releasing you on your own recognizance, so you will be released from custody. That means it will be your responsibility to get yourself to both of those next court dates. Once you're out of custody, you are ordered not to possess any drugs without a valid prescription. Do you understand those conditions? Thank you, Mr. Coda. You can step back and get your paperwork.
You're also charged with count 2,
Stephanie
first degree
Sword to the podium in the courtroom,
safety,
please.
use
Sarah
of a dangerous
Faulkner, if
weapon.
you would please work your way to the second chair.
También le imputan el cargo segundo con
Can I have
la
your name and date of birth,
imprudencia
please?
temeraria con el uso de un arma. peligrosa.
Ms. Sword. You are here on an allegation of a new charge. That allegation is one count of criminal damage. It is a class 2 misdemeanor. I did find probable cause to support that allegation, and I determined you are entitled to a court-appointed lawyer. That lawyer will be appointed for you by the next judge you see at your next court hearing. That hearing is going to be an arraignment hearing May 21st. It will be at 9 o'clock in the morning in the Hacienda Justice Court. I am releasing you on your own recognizance, so you will be released. There will be several conditions imposed. We'll get to those in a second. But the first thing that means is that you're going to be responsible for getting yourself to that court hearing. The date, time, address, and phone number for that court will be in your paperwork, so please make sure you keep that so you know where to go and when. Once you are out of custody, you cannot go back to the scene where the alleged events occurred. You cannot have any contact with alleged victims or any alleged witnesses. You cannot possess weapons. You cannot consume any alcohol or drugs without a valid prescription, and you must comply with the terms of any orders of protection, if any have been or are later served upon you. If these orders mean that I'm ordering you not to return to your primary residence, you must find an alternate residence at least until your first hearing on May 21st. If that is the case, then you need to go back to this location to retrieve the personal items you have there that you'll need between now and the 21st. You do have one civil standby, which means you can contact local law enforcement and have a law enforcement officer escort you to that location one time between now and the 21st.
Look at this baldy lax.
If you need to do that, you can do it by calling the non-emergency number to any local law enforcement agency. If you do that and you exercise your right to that civil standby, please retrieve anything at that location
I'm not sure
that
what
you might
state this
need
one
between
is
now and the 21st, because you can only do that one time. Okay, do you
500,000
understand all of that
Recomienda
information?
para este acusado
Yes,
una
I do have one
caución
question.
en efectivo en el
My
importe
boyfriend
de
is the one
$500,000
he would be the witness. I would, and
y
he's
que
at the
no lleve
primary
ningún arma de
residence, but
fuego.
he's also
Trying to
down
save
as
his
a
Commissioner, I don't have any background information on Mr.
And do
Jose
you
Arroyo
work at the
Cervantes.
location? So when you go
Tampoco
to
tengo
work, you have,
información
is it
alguna
unavoidable that you
sobre
would have
el
contact
contexto
with
del
him?
historial del señor Arroyo Cervantes.
There, this act is as intentional
looking like
as
Moby.
acts.
And I'm sorry,
Este
I don't know
acto
if I asked
podría
this,
ser
or
más
you go
intencional.
to, it's not a remote
This
possession,
defendant
okay.
is following the
So
victim,
here's what I'll
pulls
do.
up
I
beside
don't
him,
intend to
and
prohibit you
shoots him.
from
Damn.
Este
going to
acusado
work and continuing
sigue a la
your
víctima,
employment.
se detiene
So
a su
what I
lado
will
y le
do
dispara.
is, I will
Is,
prohibit you from having
gunshot hits
physical
the victim in
contact
the
with
head.
him.
The
So
victim
you
then
can go to work,
crashes,
you
and the
can
defendant
communicate with
circles
him
the block.
for employment purposes, but please do not initiate any
You guys
communication
like the
or
TikTok
Alcanza a la
shot?
content
víctima en la cabeza,
with him other than
el
what is
automóvil
required for
choca
employment,
y después el
and under no
acusado da
circumstances can
vueltas
you
a la
have
manzana.
physical contact with him.
The
So
defendant
you can
comes back,
communicate with him for
gets
reasons
out,
of your
and
employment.
fires
You
3
cannot
more
touch
shots
him in
directly
any way, and you
inside the
can't
victim's
communicate with
head.
him certainly about the substance of this
El
case,
acusado
or
vuelve,
at least until the
sale y
21st,
dispara
anything
3
other than
tiros
employment.
más en el lado de la cabeza de la
Does
víctima.
that
Damn.
He is
help
facing
with
life
that
imprisonment,
situation? Yes. Is there
Se
anything
enfrenta a la
else
cadena
that you
perpetua.
think that we need to address before I excuse
and
you?
with this
So I'm not allowed to go back
past
to my house.
situation,
You
Commissioner,
can one time with
500,000
law
is the
enforcement
least,
to retrieve items. That
cash
applies
amount
only between
that,
now and your first hearing on
the
the
state could
21st. So I'm not
possibly
telling you you
recommend.
could
Thank
never
you.
go home.
Y dados
I'm
estos
just saying,
hechos y la
until you see the
situación,
next judge
el
that will
importe
see
de
you on the
$500,000
underlying merits of this
es
case,
la
you have
suma
to
en
separate
efectivo
yourself from the
mínima
alleged
que
victim and
pueda
the place where
recomendar
this
la
happened.
Fiscalía. Gracias.
Okay, anything else?
In state,
All right,
you
let me,
mentioned that
give me
you
1 second to
cannot
make
see
that
the background.
modification
That's
in your
because
release order. We'll
CCAT
get it
sound for you.
recorded
Is
and we'll
that
bring it out
correct?
to you if you'll take a step back.
No.
Sure. Thank you, Ms.
Would the court
Thornton.
repeat that, sorry?
Okay, there is a criminal history, but,
Commissioner, yeah, he wants you to repeat what you just asked the
Oh.
state.
so I asked the state if the reason why she made the comment that she could not see a criminal history is because the CCAP was down. We've been having problems with it all day.
Bueno, y le pregunté a la Fiscalía que había hecho el comentario que no se podía consultar el historial, los antecedentes, porque el sistema está de baja. Hemos tenido problemas con el sistema todo el día.
And her answer was no.
Y su respuesta fue no.
Thank you, defense.
Okay, Donnie
Gracias, defensa.
Starkkins, if you will
We're
please
asking
work
you
your
to
way
set a
into the courtroom.
reasonable
Shane
amount of
Page, if I
cash
could ask you to
bail.
work your way to the
Thank you for
second
that,
chair,
Daily Heart.
please. Can I have your name and date of
Estamos
birth, please, sir?
solicitando que se fije una suma de caución razonable.
Thank you, Mr. Starkkins. You are here on allegations of new charges. The allegations against you are one count of dangerous drug possession, a Class 4 felony, and one count of drug paraphernalia possession, a Class 6 felony. I did find probable cause to support those allegations, and I've appointed the Public Defender's Office to represent you. Your next court hearing will be a status conference May 15th, and then a preliminary hearing May 19th. They will
Man, in LA they give you $1 million.
I am releasing you on your own recognizance, so you will be released from custody. It will then be your responsibility to get yourself to both of those next hearings.
El señor
Once you are
Arroyo
out of
Cervantes ha
custody, you
vivido
cannot
acá
possess
en
any
Milwaukee
drugs without a
durante
valid
muchos años
prescription.
y
Do you
tiene hijos
understand
aquí.
those conditions?
Yeah, I have if I end up
He
getting an
has
attorney
a job that if he were ever released from custody,
You mean if you hire private counsel?
Yeah.
Just let your private,
would
if you
likely
hire
result
a
in him
private
not
lawyer, let
being
your private
eligible for
lawyer know
public
that the
defender
public defender was
representation.
appointed for you
So
at your
he
initial
earns
appearance.
a good
Your lawyer
living.
will know what to do.
All right, cool.
Tiene
Milwaukee.
un empleo que si le
All right,
pusieran
thank
en
you.
libertad, probablemente no reuniría
Sarah
los
Faulkner,
requisitos para
if you
obtener la
would please
defensoría
work your way
pública, es
into the
decir,
courtroom.
se gana
Kevin
bien la vida.
Wesley, if you please work your way to the second
He's
chair.
presumed innocent.
Y tiene derecho a la presunción de inocencia.
Cali would be $3
Can I have your
million.
We're
name and date of
asking you to
birth,
set
please?
non-monetary conditions of
Thank you, Ms.
bail
Faulkner. You are
to
here on
ensure
allegations of new
public
charges.
safety.
Those allegations
Are you?
are
Yes,
one
I am.
count of
A much
narcotic
smaller
drug
amount of
possession, a
cash
Class
bail.
4 felony, and one count of drug
Estamos
paraphernalia
solicitando que
possession, a Class
ustedes
6 felony.
establezcan
I did
condiciones
find
no
probable cause to
monetarias para
support those
la libertad
allegations,
bajo
and I've appointed
caución
the
para
Public Defender's
garantizar la
Office
seguridad
to
pública
represent you. Your
y
next
que
court
se
hearings will be a
fije
status
una suma
conference May
mínima para
15th,
la
and then
caución
a
en
preliminary
efectivo.
hearing
Hell,
May
without bond.
19th.
Whoa,
They will both
yeah.
be at 8:30 in the Superior Court downtown.
So I've
I
listened to
am releasing
arguments
you
of
on your
both
own
state and
recognizance, so you will be
defense, and
released from
reviewed the
custody.
PSA,
That means
which
it
is
will
calling
be
for
your
a level 5
responsibility to get
financial.
yourself to both of your next court hearings.
He
Once you are
escuchado
out of
los
custody, you
argumentos de
cannot
ambas
possess any
partes,
drugs
así
without a
como
valid
he estudiado el
prescription. Do you
PSA
understand
y
those conditions?
solicita una
Okay, thank you. You can
caución
step back and get your paperwork.
financiera de nivel
Shane
5.
Page to the podium in the courtroom, please.
And rather
Jesus
facts and
Calderon, if you would
circumstances in
please
this
work your way to
case,
the
and I've
second
looked at
chair.
her criminal history, which is dated and minor with just
Can I
traffic
please have your name and date of birth?
convictions.
Shane Allen Page,
He leído los hechos y las
5185.
circunstancias
Thank
de
you,
la
Mr. Page.
causa,
You
así
are
como
here
sus
on
antecedentes
allegations of new
penales, las
charges.
cuales
The allegations
tienen
against you
fechas
are
de
one count of
delitos
dangerous
menores
drug
de tránsito.
possession, a Class 4 felony,
The PSA
and one
does
count of drug
indicate that there has
paraphernalia
been
possession,
failures
a
to
Class
appear
6
in other
felony.
court
I have found
proceedings.
probable cause to support those
El
allegations and
PSA sí
appointed the
indica
Public
que hubo
Defender's Office to represent you.
incomparecencias en
Your
otras
next court hearings
diligencias
will be a status conference May
judiciales.
15th, and then
And
a
it
preliminary
does
hearing May
rightfully
19th.
so
They will
know
both
that
be
you are
at
charged
8:30 in
with
the
2
Superior
violent
Court downtown.
offenses.
I am releasing you on your own recognizance,
Con
so you will
razón
be
también
released from
dice
custody.
que
That means
le
it will be
acusan
your
ahora de dos
responsibility to
delitos
get yourself to
violentos.
both of your next
As
court
such,
hearings.
this court
Once
now
you're out of
has a
custody,
duty
you
to take
cannot possess
additional
any
factors
drugs
into
without a valid prescription.
consideration
Do you
beyond whether or
understand
not
those
you're going to
conditions?
Yes,
appear
ma'am.
for all of
Okay,
the
thank you,
future
Mr. Page.
court
You can step back and
hearings.
get your paperwork.
Thank you.
Como tal,
Kevin
esta jueza
Wesley
ahora
to the
tiene el
podium in the
deber
courtroom,
de
please.
tomar en
Brianna Walker,
consideración
if you would please work your
más
way to the second
factores
chair.
para saber si usted comparecerá para sus audiencias
Good, how are
futuras.
you?
Good. Been
I
better.
need
We'll
to
find
take
out,
into
right?
consideration
Okay,
the
can I have
safety
your
of
name and date
any
of birth?
surviving
Kevin Wesley,
victims,
0211
along with the
1995.
safety
Thank you,
of the
Mr. Wesley.
community.
Okay, you're here on a failure to
Tengo
appear
que
warrant
tener en
issued by the
consideración la
Encanto
seguridad
Justice
de
Court. The
víctimas
underlying allegation in
sobrevivientes,
that case
así
is a
como la
misdemeanor
seguridad
driving on a
de la
suspended
comunidad.
license allegation.
When I look
Because
at the
that
facts
is a
and
misdemeanor
circumstances in this
allegation, the
case, I
nature of that charge
consider
does not
any
entitle you to a
affirmative
court-appointed
defenses
lawyer.
along with the
So if
strength
you
of the
want to
state's
have a lawyer
case.
defending you in that case and you don't already have one, you'll have to hire a lawyer
Cuando
to represent
investigo los
you.
hechos y las
Your next court
circunstancias, así
hearing is
como toda
going to be an
defensa
arraignment
de fondo,
hearing May
tengo que
15th. It
también
will be at
considerar la
1:30 in
fuerza
the
del caso
Encanto
de la
Justice
Fiscalía.
Court. I am releasing you
Well,
on your own
another strength
recognizance,
of the
so you
state's
will be
case,
responsible for
there
getting
is
yourself to that court
videos,
hearing May 15th at
eyewitnesses
1:30.
that
In your
put
release
you at the
paperwork, you're going to
scene
have
with
the
a gun
date,
in your
time, address,
hand,
and phone number
firing
for that court,
shots
so
at the
please keep
victim.
it so you know when and where to go when May 15th comes around.
Y cuando
Once you're out of
investigo
custody,
el
you are
caso de
ordered
la
not to
Fiscalía y
operate a
su
motor
fuerza,
vehicle if you don't
se
have a
ve que
valid
hay
driver's license.
video,
Do
grabaciones, varios testigos
understand those
oculares
conditions?
que
Yes, this is
le
one
ponen a
question.
usted en el lugar de
I
los
was told
hechos
since
con
I was
una
apprehended
pistola
that my
en
bill is
la
probably going to
mano
be $100, so I
disparando.
had my mom come down and rush down
These
to the 4th
videos are
Avenue
not
to put
just one,
$100
there are
on.
several, including flat cameras.
But can you
Today,
let me
it's
go on my
almost
own recognizance?
impossible
Do I
to
have
not
to
be
keep
picked
that
up
back
by
or?
some camera, whether it's a traffic
That's a good
camera or a
question.
host
I don't,
camera.
My record does not
Estos
indicate that a
videos no
bond
son
was
solamente
posted on your behalf.
uno, son
So
varios.
it
Esto
is
incluye
possible
videos
that
de
the Fourth
tiendas.
Avenue
Es casi
Bonds and Fines
imposible
Office
hoy
wouldn't
en
accept that
día
until you came through
no
this
ser
court.
grabado
So
por
your
Hey, what
mom,
up,
I don't
Teresa?
know when the last
Incluye
time the
cámaras
cops
de
were rolled, but it
tránsito
is very
y
possible
cámaras
she's
de sus
standing down
casas.
there and they're telling her,
I can
you
look
have to
at
wait until you
affirmative
speak by a
defenses,
judge. I
however, I
don't
look at the
know.
facts as
If they have
alleged, and they are
accepted
just
that money from
allegations
her,
at this time.
Wisconsin.
I would guess
Is
that
Wisconsin
they
white,
would
guys?
return it or refund it to her because
Defensa
it
del
was
fondo,
never
así como los
imposed
hechos
on
tales
you.
como son
I think
presumidos y son
when you
solamente
get back, do
presunciones
you
en este
have,
momento.
are you in communication with your mom?
However,
Can you
the
call her from the jail?
allegations
Is that how you-
Oh, Milwaukee.
What I
you
would say
fired
is,
shots,
if you have the opportunity
paused
to,
for a
once
while,
you get back there, call
I
her
found the news
again and
article.
say,
Damn,
hey,
you're
I'm
good.
The judge is
to
releasing me,
the
she's not
alleged
requiring me to
victim and
post a
fired
bond.
more shots
Your mom
in
might
an
say, okay, good, I'll go
execution
home. If she says,
type
I already
shooting.
paid it, then what I would say is have her, if to the
Pero
extent
las
she's still down at
presunciones
Fourth
indican que
Avenue, have her
usted
talk to them and
disparó,
say, hey, I
hizo una
posted this bond, but
pausa,
it
luego
wasn't
se dio la
legally
vuelta y
imposed, and
caminó
have her
hacia
deal
la
with that
víctima,
with the bonds and
disparando
fines
más,
office.
más
Okay,
tiros
anything
al
else?
estilo de
All
una
right, thank you, Mr.
ejecución.
Wesley. You can step back and get your paperwork.
And you're certainly welcome to
Jesus
raise
Calderon to the
privileges of
podium in the courtroom,
self-defense.
please.
However, these allegations weaken that self-defense. Although I do understand more
Can I have your name and date
information
of birth,
may
please?
come through the pendency of this case.
Birthday 7/17/94.
Y ciertamente puede
Thank you, Mr. Calderon. Okay, you're here on an allegation
variarse
of
de
a new
privilegios
charge.
de
The allegation is
defensa,
one count of
pero
failing to
los
admit you
hechos
were
tales
carrying a
como son
deadly
presumidos
weapon.
ahora
It was booked
debilitan
as
esta
a Class
presunción.
6
Pero
felony.
claro,
I did
pueden
not
llegar
find
más
probable cause to
informaciones en el
support it as
transcurso del
booked.
procedimiento.
I will say I
But
do
for setting
believe that
bail,
the
I can
legal
only
elements
consider
of
what's
that
in front of me
offense were
today, and that is
supported
the
by the factual
allegations on this
allegations
criminal
provided by law
complaint.
enforcement.
Pero
But under
para
Arizona
fijar una
law,
caución
that
solamente
can
puedo
only be
considerar
a
lo que
Class
ocurre
1
I would run
misdemeanor.
too.
hoy día.
So because
Y
I
son
think the
los hechos
designation of the
presumidos en
crime
esta
was
denuncia
misbooked,
penal.
I am
Is
not
this
finding
Maricopa?
probable
Does this
cause
look
to
like
support it
Maricopa?
as
I look
booked.
at is
So
the
what that means
significant
is you're going to
exposure
be
to
released. You're not going to have
incarceration. You are
release
facing
restrictions
life
imposed
and
upon
then
you.
some.
But it is possible that the
He
county
wanted
Otra
that
attorney's
factor que
office
cheddar.
tengo
will
que
correct
considerar
that and
es la
file the
exposición
charge
a
as
la
a Class
duración
1
de la
misdemeanor.
condena, en este
So I'm
caso
going to
cadena
appoint the public
perpetua y
defender's
más.
office for you in the
And
event
we
that
know based
happens,
upon
and I'm also
evidence-based
going to give you
studies
court
that
dates. So
individuals
like I said,
exposed
you're
to
going to get out of
significant
custody, you don't have
incarceration
release
increases
restrictions
their
other than
likelihood
that
of
you go to
life.
court hearings. The first
Y
one will
sabemos en
be a
función de
status
estudios
conference May
anteriores que las
15th.
personas que se
The
enfrentan
second one
a
is going to
condenas
be a preliminary hearing May
importantes
19th. They'll be at 8:30 in the Superior
son
Court downtown.
aumentados en su
It is
riesgo de
possible
fuga.
you will go to court on the
Based upon the
15th. The court will say
totality
you
of
don't have
factors, I
charges
do
filed,
find
you
it
don't have to come back
necessary
on the
to impose
19th, you're free to
significant
go.
cash
But
bail.
if the county
En
attorney's
función de la
office does
totalidad de
file
los
charges and
factores,
you don't go to
determino que es
court on the
necesario
15th at
imponer una
8:30, that
caución
court will issue a
importante.
warrant for your arrest.
I am
So
going to follow
get
the
your
state's
paperwork, keep your court
recommendation
dates, go
and
to court on
impose
the 15th, but other than that,
$500,000
you're going
cash
to get out
bail
of custody,
along
you
with a
don't have to
level
post a bond, you
5
don't have any release
pre-trial
restrictions.
supervision.
Okay, do you understand that information?
I do.
All right,
Voy
thank you,
a
Mr.
atenerme a
Calderon,
las
you can step back and
recomendaciones
get
de
your
la
paperwork.
Fiscalía e imponer una caución en efectivo de $500,000, así como
Thank you for them daily
supervisión
hearts.
provisoria nivel 5 de riesgo.
Okay, can I please have Brianna
I'm going
Walker
to
into
order
the
that you may
courtroom?
not possess any firearms or dangerous weapons.
Martha, number 30,
Ordeno
is that
también
it?
que usted no
Yeah,
posea
okay.
ningún arma de fuego ni armas
You like that,
peligrosas.
Teresa?
Can I
You
have
like
your name and
that?
date of
And I
birth?
believe the state is asking
Brianna
for a no
Walker.
contact
Minor
order.
date.
I haven't seen one come
Thank you,
through.
Ms. Walker.
It's
Okay,
no
you are
firearms
here on a warrant issued by
Y
the
creo
state
que la
of
Fiscalía
California.
solicita una orden de
Before you were
alejamiento,
put
no
on
nos
a
ha
court
llegado
docket here
todavía.
in Arizona,
No,
Arizona staff
señoría,
confirmed with
es una
California
orden
that
para
that is
no
a valid
tener ningún
warrant.
arma de fuego.
California has indicated
So
that
I
they are
am
willing to
ordering no
extradite you.
firearms,
That
or
means
you are not
California wants
ordering
to
a
come to
no
Arizona
contact
and
order
take you
with
back to
the second
California.
victim and
Before you
witnesses.
came into the courtroom, did you get a
Así
big
que ordeno
laminated
que no
card to
posea
review?
ningún arma de fuego.
Yes.
Usted
Okay,
ordena,
did you read through that
solicita también que
information?
ordene
Yes.
ningún
Okay.
contacto con la
As I
segunda víctima
indicated,
y los
because,
testigos.
as I indicated, you're here on an out-of-state warrant. Because your warrant was issued by a different state, your hearing is going to look a little bit different than everybody else's that has already gone. You will have a choice between two different options.
Hey, for anybody that read,
so I'm going to go through what those two different options are. Hopefully they match the information that was on that card. I will give you an opportunity to ask any questions that you have about either of the options. And at the end, I'm going to ask you which option you're
I don't know.
Okay, so
Great Bobon.
Y lo dije
the
incorrectamente.
first option that you
Usted no
can
la
choose
recomienda.
is to
Yo
waive your right
ordeno
to
que no
an
haya
extradition
ningún
hearing
contacto
here
con
in Arizona and agree to go back to California.
los testigos
If
y
you
la segunda
choose that
víctima
option and you
con las
waive your right to an
iniciales
extradition hearing, you are not waiving any rights or defenses you have to the criminal
And
case
sir,
in
based on your
California.
attorney's
You are only
statements,
waiving your
that
right
if
to
you were
extradition
released from
proceedings
custody,
in
you would
Arizona
not
and
be
agreeing that
eligible for the
California
public
can come
defender's
get you and take
office.
you back.
If you
Y,
pick that
señor, en
option,
función de
you will
lo
be
dicho
held
por su
in
abogado, que
custody
si le
here in
pusieran en
Maricopa
libertad,
County for up to
podría
30 days
reunir los
without
requisitos
bond to
para
allow
obtener la Defensoría
California an
Pública.
opportunity to come get you.
If that is the case, sir,
That
you are,
30-day
if you
time
are
period
released,
will start ticking
then you may
tomorrow,
earn a
so day one
your
would
own
be
receipt to
tomorrow,
qualify for a
unless you
court-appointed
have
attorney.
unresolved criminal charges pending anywhere in
Y si es el
Arizona.
caso, señor,
If you
entonces
have
si le ponen en
unresolved criminal
libertad,
charges in Arizona, that 30-day
puede
time period will not start ticking
contratar
until
a su
your
propio
local
abogado
judge
y
is
reunir los requisitos para
So,
obtener
option number
un abogado
one
de
is
oficio.
waive your right to an
And we will
extradition
get
hearing,
you court
agree
date,
to
sir.
go back to
Y le obtenemos
California
nuevas
and
fechas de
stay in
comparecencia, señor.
custody, no bond for up to
Commissioner,
30 days.
the
The second choice that you can
NFDR
pick is
as one
to
person.
demand to have an
There are two
extradition hearing
individual
held here
people.
in
There's
Arizona.
DL,
If you
then
pick that
there's
option,
NF,
I will set an
and then
extradition hearing
DR.
for May
So
12th at 1:30 in the
correct, three
afternoon.
individuals.
Extradition
Y señora
proceedings
jueza,
in
las
Arizona
iniciales
are civil
MFDR
proceedings,
son
not
una
criminal
persona, no son dos
proceedings.
personas,
That means
son
I
las
could
iniciales
not
DL,
appoint a lawyer to
MFDR,
represent
así que
you,
tres
but if you
personas,
picked
así
option
es.
2 and we set that extradition hearing, you
Does
do,
anybody
like
know? I know
everybody
somebody
else, have the
pulled
right
up
to
the
hire a
article.
lawyer
When
to
did
be
this
present
incident
and
take
represent
place?
you
If you
in those
guys, if you don't mind sharing, thank you
If
for
you
that
pick
daily
option
heart.
2 and I set that extradition hearing, you are bond eligible on the
Madam Clerk was
California
asking
warrant.
for any
Your bond is
off-roofs
set
or
at
shifts, so they
50,000
can schedule
secured
the
appearance. So if you pick option 2 and you post that bond, you would be eligible for release from custody.
His
This will
next
be
court date
required
will
to
be
stay
May
in
8th
Arizona and
at
attend all of your
1:30
extradition hearings.
for a
If you picked
preliminary
option 2 and you
hearing.
did not or could not post that bond, you would stay in
Se
custody while
pedía
the
afuera
extradition
de ruta
proceedings are taking
turnos para la
place.
audiencia preliminar.
If you pick
Actuaría
option 2,
necesito una tarde,
governor's warrants
8
are
de mayo,
then
entonces
sought
1:30
by the
de la
governors
tarde
of
para la
California
audiencia
and
preliminar.
Arizona. The process of getting a governor's warrant from that first extradition hearing to the governor's warrants being signed could take up to 90 days. But in option 2, you remain bond eligible for that whole 90-day period. Okay, do you understand the two
So this is the
options?
first time. Did they freeze?
Do you have questions about either option?
It looks like they stopped it. So this is the first
I don't
time
have
that I've
anywhere
ever
to
done this
reside
court
in
here.
California.
What
I
was
live
this?
in
Wyoming, Wisconsin,
I live in
somewhere.
Arizona. I
Somewhere
don't
I've
have
never
anywhere
been
to
to or
live
probably
in
never go to.
California.
And no
So I
offense
think
to
I will go
anybody
with
if
option
you guys
2.
live there.
Okay,
but I
very
just
good.
don't
Then
see
I will
myself
set
going
an
there.
extradition
That
hearing for May
interpreter
12th at
looks
1:30. You will
Look
have
at
a
that baldy Lex,
$50,000
right?
secured
Milwaukee,
appearance
Milwaukee. That's
bond.
right.
You
Hey, that's
do have
where
the opportunity
is that
to
where
use the
Jeffrey
bonding
was
company
from?
to get that posted
Was
if
he
you
from
choose
Milwaukee?
to.
You guys know what
If
Jeffrey
you
I'm talking
do
about.
post that bond and you're released
That's
from
the I'll
custody,
probably remember.
please make
Anyhow,
sure
let
that
me
you are
check. It
present
looks like
not
this one's
only
over
on
now.
May 12th at 1:30 for that first hearing, but at
switch it
any
up right quick.
subsequent
Let me check
hearings
if I
that
can
are
find,
set, if any are. Also,
another
if you
one,
do post that
Wyoming.
bond and you're released, please make sure that you stay in Arizona. It sounds like you don't have a place to go in California, but please don't post that bond and then take yourself back to California to try to resolve this.
What is it? Is it
If you want to
9:30?
try
Okay.
and resolve it from Arizona,
Let me
you'll
try
have
to
to
get
hire a
into,
California lawyer or somehow
Polk
do
County. I
it
think
from
Polk
in
County should be
Arizona.
starting
Don't
up. The
leave the
criminal will
state while
start
this
up
case
at,
is pending.
at
Okay. Any
Damn, James,
final
you
questions?
got all these courts on speed dial? Indeed,
So
I
that's
do.
the only way that I would be
Oh,
getting
hold up.
released is by
Hold on, let me
posting a
put this
bill.
really
I'm
quick
not getting released by you guys.
That's right. You have to post that bond, yes.
Let me see. What was I looking for?
Okay. Any other questions, Ms. Walker?
What was it? Oh, yeah.
I'm pretty sure I do, but not at the moment.
Okay. Keep your paperwork in your paperwork. You'll have date time for that court. You do, like I said, have the right to hire a lawyer if you want a lawyer to represent you in the extradition proceedings. So keep your paperwork, jot down on that paperwork any questions that come to you between now and your hearing, and you can take them up with the next judge you see on the 12th.
I've been trying to organize my bookmarks.
That's the 12th of this month, right?
Correct, yes, in 11 days.
Do these streams.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Walker.
Coloring, so interesting. Thank you, Tracy. Highly appreciate
Yeah.
that. See, and I appreciate everybody. All you guys that jump on, day after day.
Come back on in.
I do appreciate you guys.
No, that's okay. Tell me your name and date of birth again, though, since you're back at the podium.
My name is Jesus Calderon, 71794.
Okay, what's your question?
Just on the attorney appointment, it says the court finds you to be indigent and orders an attorney-provided representation. Can I, I'm gonna try to appoint somebody or hire. Can I have a little more time and try to find that?
Yes, so you have until the 15th. So here's the deal. You can hire a private lawyer at any time. You could hire a private lawyer tomorrow. You could hire one on the 15th. You could hire one in July if this case is still pending. When you hire a private lawyer, you tell that lawyer, I was previously being represented by the public defender's office. That lawyer will file what's called a notice of appearance in this case. The public defender would then withdraw. So we'll leave the public defender on here in
in case something happens between now and when you hire a private lawyer, but you do have the right to pick any lawyer of your choosing, and if and when you do do that, that lawyer will know what to do. Okay, thank you, Mr. Calderon. All right, number 29 on the calendar, Brandy Charnice Mitchell, date of birth 3/14/88, is not in the courtroom because she was unable to function in general population due to bizarre and or aggressive behavior. She is here on allegations of new charges. Those allegations are 1 count of burglary, a Class 3 felony, and 1 count of criminal trespassing, a Class 6 felony. I have found probable cause for those allegations and appointed a lawyer to defend her. Her next court hearings will be a status conference May 7th and then a preliminary hearing May 9th, both at 8:30 in the Superior Court downtown. She has a $25,000 secured appearance bond and, if posted, will be released on an ankle monitor. Number 9 on the calendar, Dixie Marie Ganji, date of birth 6/18/93, is not in the courtroom because she was unable to function in general population due to combative and aggressive behavior. She is here on 2 different matters. The first is an allegation of a new felony offense. It is 1 count of aggravated assault on a correctional employee, a Class 5 felony. I did find probable cause to support that allegation and appointed a lawyer to defend her. Her next court hearings will be a status conference May 7th and then a preliminary hearing May 9th, both at 8:30 in the Superior Court downtown. On that new felony allegation, she has a $15,000 secured appearance bond. She is also here on allegations of new misdemeanor offenses. Those allegations are 1 count of disorderly conduct and 1 count of criminal damage. On those misdemeanor allegations, I did find probable cause and determined she's entitled to a court-appointed lawyer who will be appointed by the next judge she sees, which will be May 7th at 1 o'clock in the Buckeye. Appointed lawyer who will be appointed by the next judge she sees, which will be May 7th at 1 o'clock in the Buckeye Municipal Court. On the misdemeanor allegation, she has a $500 secured appearance bond, making her total bond $15,500, all secured appearance. Number 16 on the calendar, Joseph Antonio Noggle, date of birth 5/25/92, is not in the courtroom because he is designated as a vulnerable adult. He is here on allegations of new charges. Those allegations are 1 count of aggravated assault, a Class 5 felony, and 1 count of causing criminal damage, a Class 1 misdemeanor. I did find probable cause to support
for sure, Pima, look,
if
this is your first time in Pima, and Pima is going to be DV,
19th, both at 8:30 in the Superior Court downtown,
and DUIs, not in that order.
The county attorney's office, he will be released on his own recognizance. Number 2 on the calendar, Leona Angel Irene Areola, date of birth 4/15/85, is not in the courtroom because she was unable to function in general population due to bizarre behavior. She is here on allegations of new charges. Those allegations are 1 count of dangerous drug possession, a Class 4 felony, and 1 count of drug paraphernalia possession, a Class 6 felony. I did not find probable cause to support those allegations, but I have appointed a lawyer to defend her. I'm going to give her court hearings, which will be a status conference May 15th and then a preliminary hearing May 19th, both at 8:30 in the Superior Court downtown. Last on the calendar, number 30, Christopher Lee Carpenter, date of birth 7/18/94, is not in the courtroom because he poses a danger to himself. He is here on a post-adjudication warrant issued by the Peoria Municipal Court on a misdemeanor driving under the influence case. Because this is a post-adjudication misdemeanor matter, he's not entitled to a court-appointed lawyer. His next court hearing will be an arraignment hearing May 20th at 9 o'clock in the Peoria Municipal Court, and I will release him on his own recognizance.
Number 22,
Sir?
Walker had a question for you regarding your
Okay, come on back in, Ms. Walker. That's okay. Okay, give me your date of birth, your name and date of birth one more time, and then go ahead and ask your question.
Brianna Walker, 10/12/1996.
What's your question?
Up next on The Price is Wrong.
What exactly was I rearrested for? And am I...
Damn, James, you cold. You hit them with The Price is Right song.
Time for?
So, I'm not sure I fully understand.
You can't hear the court?
The reason you were arrested in Arizona is because Arizona law enforcement found that there was a warrant issued for your arrest by the state of California.
You do have the right to
that
remain
warrant
silent. Anything
indicates
you say,
that the underlying
Thank you, I just fixed it.
is a kidnapping offense, but I don't have any additional information on the California warrant other than California as of yesterday confirmed it was valid.
Circumstances of the offense.
I already did time
also
for
had an
that.
opportunity to review
half.
some input from the victim.
So it could be a I mean, the basis of this could be some sort of post-adjudication probation parole
If I
violation,
release
I
you
don't know.
today,
So what I would
will you
encourage
promise
you
to show
to
up at a
do
court
is
date at city court that I give you in the future?
try to reach either an Arizona lawyer or a California lawyer to try and figure out what the underlying basis of this is. All I have is that California has issued a warrant for your arrest, and as of yesterday, California has indicated that the warrant is valid. So what, if you think that there's been a mistake made by California, or if there's some sort of confusion, that's something that you'll have to clear up with California. But the reason you were arrested is because in the law enforcement database, there's a valid warrant.
You're not allowed to have any contact with your spouse.
So it's
if I
not that
release you
somebody
today,
committing new
that is
offenses
going
here
to
in
be the
Arizona. It's
continuing
that
order
California
on this charge
says
as well.
we
You are not
we have
allowed to have any
we have
contact
valid
with your
reason to
spouse.
issue a warrant, and
Cannot
we
go
want
back
you
to
to
the
apprehend
house.
this
Can't go
defendant
back
for
to
us.
where she's living or have any contact with her. A
Okay.
judge may be
So
able
I'm
to
sorry,
change
I
that
don't
in the
know
future,
more
but
about
that
the
is not going to
California,
happen
the underlying
today.
circumstances in California, but that's something you'll have to take up with California.
Hang on. Do you
What do you
have
mean my
do you have
follows?
somewhere
Okay.
else that
Anything
you can
else?
reside?
No. Okay. Thank you, Ms. Walker.
Yes.
Okay. Do you need to
Yeah,
return
Okay,
for
that
any
concludes the
reason
2
to get
p.m.
any of
initial
your
appearance. Calendar, this
belongings
court
from
will
where
stand
she
in
is
recess
living?
until 5 p.m.
That's what I was doing to get my stuff out when the cop showed up. Say I have a restraining order.
Okay. So here's what I'm going to do. You're going to
Rubbing his feet.
You're going to be allowed to return one time with the police to get your belongings.
Like you did before.
Okay. So when you get released later today, you're going to get a copy of your paperwork. It's an appearance order with release conditions. It'll have all the conditions we talked about as well as the order protection number. And there'll be a box check that says you can return with law enforcement. You need to take this form to a nearby law enforcement substation or call 911, not from in front of the house, but a location down the street or somewhere else, and have them meet you and then go to the residence with police so that you can get your belongings. Do you understand that process? And will you agree to abide by that process if I release you? All right. I will release you on your promise to appear.
Dias.
We've talked about all of those conditions of release. Your next court hearing is going to be May 27th at 1:30 in the afternoon, and that's going to be in front of Judge Millian at Tucson City Court.
Tyler, thank you for
and
that
again,
follow.
that information is all going to be documented on the paperwork that you get. This is also the time for your arraignment on this charge. You are presumed innocent. I'm entering a not guilty plea on your behalf. If you fail to show up for that hearing on May 27th, they could issue for a warrant for your arrest. They could also go forward with that hearing in your absence and set future hearings, including a trial. If a trial gets set in your absence and you get convicted and can't be sentenced within 90 days, you can also lose your right to appeal that conviction. Do you understand all of those consequences if you don't show up for court?
Right.
All right, you're all done. You are all done for today.
What up, Raven? How's it going? Welcome back, everybody. I said we got over 278 people in here. Highly appreciate you guys, and let's get the taps up. Let's get up to 100K, if you will.
Thank you.
You guys
Okay,
don't
sir,
gotta
tell me
send
your
gifts,
name.
but I do appreciate the taps, if you will.
Mr. Leon,
Mind
you
the
are
gap.
here today
Mind the
on
gap.
a warrant out of Pima County Superior Court for charges involving aggravated domestic violence, 3 counts.
3
child abuse,
counts?
Death or
What?
serious injury unlikely, so that's a class 4 felony, and then 2 counts of aggravated harassment. Who do
Not
we have
one,
from the public defender's office
not
this
2,
morning?
but 3.
Good morning. Leon Enriquez here.
Oh, hi, Miss Leon Enriquez. You're hiding from me. I can't see you on camera. That's all right. All I could see was a shoulder. I could not identify that.
You'll see the gray hair here.
Mr.
James, I can't see your
Leon,
eyes.
This is the time for your initial appearance on this warrant. You do have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You do have the right to an attorney in this case. I'm going to appoint the public defender's office to represent you, and you have counsel seated with you for purposes of the hearing here today. I will note that the bond amount on the warrant for this case is a $35,000 bond. The state is also asking for that bond based on the warrant. That is the court's inclination today, given the information that I have. Ms. Orozco, did you need to be heard further on conditions?
No, thank you, Your Honor.
Ms. Leon Enriquez?
Your Honor, in this case, we'd be asking for either release to pretrial services or a much lower bond. Mr. Leon has no prior felony convictions. This was I believe he wasn't arrested before on this case, which is from January 19th of 24, which is almost a year and a half. I don't believe, from what I've seen, that he has any new charges in the case. His mother indicated to pretrial services that she was willing to assume third-party custody. I understand he is fully employed and has been a lifelong resident here in Tucson.
I can't. The mute is stuck right there. No, I can't even move it. That was a bad.
I am going to impose the bond that is listed on the warrant today's date. So that is going to be a $35,000 cash or secured bond. That is what was requested at the time, and that's what the court's going to honor today. Mr. Leon, if you do post that $35,000 cash or secured bond, then you're going to be released to pretrial services. If you get released to that agency, you have to participate in any monitoring or treatment they direct. You're not allowed to possess or consume any alcohol or illegal drugs, and you can't have any guns. You're also not allowed to return to the incident location or have contact with the victims. I don't know what your living situation is, but if that poses a problem for you, you're going to have to find an alternative place to live if you post bond, unless and until a court changes that order. Do you understand all those conditions of release?
Yes.
All right. You'll also have someone from the public defender's office, I'm sure, that will be out to talk with you. Your next court date is going to be an arraignment. That arraignment takes place on May 8th at 1:30. If you're still in custody, you're going to appear via video, much like you're doing here today for that hearing. If you post bond and you get released, it's going to be your responsibility to show up on the third floor of Pima County Superior Court on May 8th at 1:30 for that hearing. If you fail to appear for that hearing, they could issue a warrant for your arrest. Do you understand the consequences if you fail to appear?
Is that better?
Yes, Your Honor.
Right. You're all done for today, Mr. Leon.
Damn, James, you're out of control again with that damn unmute button. There we go. There we go. I got that mute button for.
Coleman, are you present?
For those people that come in, I'm new here. What's happening? What do you mean? What's happening? There's a chair
Mr.
and
Coleman's case should be next.
a police shield up here.
Thank you.
This is Pima County, Arizona.
In the middle, all the way down to the first seat.
You're welcome. Hey, what up? What up, Tonka?
Yes, Sam.
My chat is stuck. No wonder I was.
Good morning.
Good morning. What up, Tonka?
Okay, sir. Mr. Coleman.
What up, Donna?
Hi.
Yes, ma'am.
Tell me your full name.
Fins up.
Brady Scott Coleman.
Right. Sir, you are here today for an initial appearance on charges involving domestic violence, aggravated assault, using a deadly weapon or dangerous instrument. You do have the right to remain silent on that charge. Anything you say kind of will be used against you. You do have the right. I'm going to go through a whole little spiel here, so I'm just going to ask you to listen, and then I'll ask you whether you understand all of those things, okay? All right. You do have the right to an attorney on this public defender's office to represent you, and you have an attorney who's seated with you for purposes of these proceedings. We're here to talk about your conditions of release on this matter. The victim on this case, Ms. Coleman, is also present on the line. She does have the opportunity to provide input to the court with respect to conditions of release. I've had an opportunity to review what pretrial services has prepared for the court. They provide a little information about you as well as the circumstances of the offense, and that's what the court has considered. Ms. Coleman, I did see the information that you provided to them indicating that you did not wish to have further contact at this time with Mr. Coleman and that he was not welcome to return home.
Right, señorita?
Was there anything else that you wanted to add? Only with respect to conditions of release. We're not talking about the charges today.
I got it for this right here, just in case
Your
somebody...
Honor. My husband himself is also a victim of his own mental health, and I am just advocating for a petition for a mental health evaluation. My husband is kind and loving. I do not wish to be separated, and this is very hard. I just need him to get help so that he can come back to his children and for me. So I'm just kindly respecting his wishes right now for us to be apart and the help that he needs, but I need the court to help assist me because he will not do it on his own. And I've been living in what can only be described as a confusing hell. He is confused with who he is, and he sleeps 1 to 3 hours a night. And my husband is not in my home. And so I'm just please begging the court, please consider strongly urging or mandating Mr. Coleman to please get a mental health evaluation so that reunification and visitation can take place and we can still remain a family. That is all that I'm requesting.
It's nothing, lady.
So, Ms. Coleman, for today, I can give you some information about who you can contact, but the only thing I can do today is impose conditions of release. So that's what I will be doing today. If you've not already been contacted by someone from the Victim Services Division of the Prosecutor's Office, you can contact them and provide them the information that you gave the court along with your concerns. People from the jail are also listening. They have heard the concerns that you have as well. And
not only that, TT is listening too.
Also
and YT.
have concerns, I know you can work with the CRC, the Community Response Center here, and file a petition asking that he be evaluated. So those are going to be some options for you to consider going forward. But today I won't be in a position of ordering any kind of mental health evaluation. Mr. Coleman is sitting here and he is able to hear everything that is being said as well. He also has an attorney on this criminal case, which would be an entirely separate matter from anything that may occur with respect to any kind of mental health evaluation.
Your Honor, could Mr. Coleman, could he request himself to undergo a mental health evaluation?
Yes.
Could he consider that?
He can, and that will be up to him. Okay. And if the people at the jail have any other independent reasons or reasons, they can also, make some inquiries, but they're going to have a separate process to do that, not just the information you're providing today. Okay. All right. So in light of all the information that the court has today, my inclination was to impose a bond in the amount of $25,000 cash or secured and released to pretrial. Ms. Orozco, does the state, I know that was what you had requested in your release conditions. Is there anything you wanted to add?
No, Your Honor. Thank you.
And perhaps you could maybe let the, Victim Services Division know, and perhaps we could have an advocate reach out to Ms. Coleman later today as well. That might be helpful to her. Ms. Coleman, would you like to have contact with a victim advocate?
Yes.
Okay. We'll see if Ms. Orozco can help facilitate that process and get someone to contact you today.
I'll have to start
All right,
flooding.
Ms. Leon Enriquez, your turn with respect to conditions of release. Please, ma'am.
Your Honor, in this case, I had been looking at requesting a much lower bond, if not released to pretrial services. Mr. Coleman doesn't have any criminal history. It doesn't look like it's either felony or misdemeanor in this case. It wasn't a gun that was used as the deadly weapon. It was a bottle that was thrown. As indicated by the victim in the case, there's mental health issues. I don't think those are best addressed here at the jail. Mr. Coleman did indicate to me right now that he did have an evaluation done here at the jail.
All right. So I am going to impose a bond today, Mr. Coleman. That's a $25,000 cash or secured bond. If you post that bond, then you're going to be released to pretrial services. That's an agency with the court. You will be required to check in with them whenever they ask you to, participate in any monitoring or treatment they direct. You are not allowed to possess or consume any alcohol, obviously no illegal drugs, and you can't have any firearms while this case is going on. You are also not to commit any further acts of domestic violence. At this time, the court is ordering that you not have any contact with Ms. Coleman. That means that if you do post bond and get released, you're not going to be allowed to return to the home or where the incident occurred in this case or where she is living or working. That can change in the future, but that's not going to change right now. Do you understand all of those conditions of release?
I don't know.
If you were to post that bond, do you have somewhere else you can go and stay?
Post the bond.
Okay. I am going to set an addition, well, I will, the hearing in this case, your next hearing is going to be May 12th at 1:30 in the afternoon. That's going to be a preliminary hearing. That court date may or may not occur, but you're going to be responsible for showing up at all future court dates. And if you fail to appear for those court dates, a warrant could issue for your arrest. You'll very likely have someone, whoever is assigned to represent you at the public defender's office, contact you prior.
Prescription not to drive without a valid driver's license. You to continue to provide court with proof of your local address. Your next court date will be a status conference on May the 7th at 8:30 with a possible preliminary hearing on May the 9th at 8:30. All those dates may change if the grand jury gets involved. But your next court date as of this moment is May the 7th at 8:30 in the downtown Superior Court. Do you have any questions, sir?
There's no way to make it lower?
Given the nature of the charges and everything that I've looked at, sir, I think that's a very reasonable bond. Reasonable minds could disagree on that, but that's the bond that this court is comfortable with. All right, the officer will give you some paperwork, sir. Thank you for appearing, counsel.
Thank you, Your Honor. Thanks, I'll set up an appointment to visit you.
Okay.
May I be excused?
Absolutely, counsel. All right, we're going to proceed in the following manner for the remainder of the calendar. We're going to call two people at a time. The first person will come and stand at the podium. The second person will sit in the chair by the door, so they'll be ready to go after the first person is done. The first person we're going to see this afternoon or this evening is Andrew Small, followed by Jonathan Hinkle. So, Mr. Small, please step up to the podium. Sir, please tell me your name and date of birth.
It's Andrew Small. My date of birth is 10/22/1988.
Thank you, sir. Sir, you're here on two cases, both of which are probation violation cases. The first, number 27 on the calendar, is a probation violation of a Class 5 felony. The court has appointed the public defender to represent you. There's been a secured appearance bond set in your case in the amount of $5,000. If you post the bond, you're not to initiate any contact with any arresting officers, you're not to possess any weapons, you're not to possess any drugs without a valid prescription or drive without a valid driver's license. You're to continue to provide court with proof of your local address. You must contact the probation officer within 24 hours of your release because you're on intensive probation. Your next court date is a probation revocation possible disposition hearing on May the 8th at 8:30 in the downtown Superior Court. On number 28 on the calendar, it's another probation violation. On that case, the public defender is again appointed. On that case, the secured appearance bond is $500. The other release conditions are the same as is the court date of May the 8th. Do you have any questions, sir?
Yeah, I never got to contact my PO because I was kidnapped. So, how do I talk to her about, possibly, because I did 10 months on probation.
When you have your court date on May the 8th, which is exactly a week from today, there'll be a report from your probation officer. You'll also have an attorney there representing you. You can explain all of the circumstances of why you may be never reported the probation department to them. Okay, but that's what I'll be for your next court date.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you over there. Step right over there, sir. Mr. Hinkle will be followed by Joshua Collier. Sir, state your name, please.
Jonathan Hinkle.
And your date of birth.
12/17/1994.
All right, so you're here on two cases. The new case is a charge of possessing dangerous drugs for sale, possessing dangerous drugs, simple possession, a Class 2 and a Class 4 felony. Based upon there being no testing of the drugs, the court did not find probable causes to those counts. The court did find probable causes to the possession of drug paraphernalia. The court has found you to be indigent and appointed the public defender to represent you. On this case, we submit a secured appearance bond set in the amount of $500. If you post the bond, you're not to initiate any contact with the arresting officers. You're not to possess any drugs without a valid prescription. You're not to drive without a valid driver's license. You're to continue to provide court proof of your local address, and you must report to the probation department within 72 hours of your release. Your next court date on this will be a status conference on May the 7th with a possible preliminary hearing on May the 9th at 8:30 in the downtown Superior Court. On number 36 on the calendar, this is a probation violation for a Class 2 felony. The public defender is appointed. There's been a secured appearance bond set in the amount of $1,500. If you post the bond, the release conditions are exactly the same, including contacting the probation department within 72 hours of your release. Your next court date on this case is a probation revocation possible disposition hearing on May the 8th at 8:30 in the downtown Superior Court. Do you have any questions, sir?
No, sir.
All right, thank you, so you can step right over there. Mr. Collier will be followed by Bobby Benson. Sir, please tell me your name and date of birth.
Joshua James Collier, 4/26/77.
Thank you, sir. Sir, you're here on two cases. Looks like they're both probation violations. The first one, number 2 on the calendar, is a Class 6 felony probation violation. The court has appointed the public defender to represent you. There's been a secured appearance bond set in this case in the amount of $500. If you post the bond, you're not to initiate contact with the arresting officers. You're not to possess any weapons. You're not to possess any drugs without a valid prescription or drive without a valid driver's license. You're to continue to provide court proof of your local address. You're also to contact the probation department within 72 hours of your release. Your next court date on this is a probation revocation possible disposition hearing on May the 8th at 8:30 in the downtown Superior Court. Number 3 on the calendar is a probation violation for a Class 4 felony. Once again, the public defender is appointed to represent you. There's a $500 secured appearance bond on this case as well. The release conditions are exactly the same. And your court date is the same of May the 8th at 8:30. Do you have any questions, sir?
No, Your Honor.
All right, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Mr. Benson will be followed by Trey Brown. Sir, please step up to the podium and tell me your name and date of birth.
Bobby Jean Benson, August 8th, 1991.
Thank you, sir. So you're here on a probation violation warrant for a Class 4 felony. The court has found you to be indigent. The public defender has been appointed to represent you. On this case, there's been a secured appearance bond set in the amount of $750. If you post the bond, you're not to issue any contact with any arresting officers. You're not to possess any weapons. You're not to possess any drugs without a valid prescription or drive without a valid driver's license. You're to continue to provide court proof of your local address, and you're to contact the probation department within 72 hours of your release. Your next court date will be a probation revocation arraignment possible disposition hearing on May the 8th at 8:30 in the downtown Superior Court. Do you have any questions, sir?
No, Your Honor.
All right, thank you, sir. Mr. Brown will be followed by James Treyas. Sir, please state your name.
Trey Brown.
And your date of birth, sir?
5597.
Thank you, sir. Sir, you're here on two cases, the first of which is a new case charging you with possession of narcotic drugs, a Class 4 felony, and possessing drug paraphernalia, a Class 6 felony. The court has found probable cause as to those counts. The court has found you to be indigent and appointed the public defender to represent you. On this case, there's a secured appearance bond set in the amount of $1,000. If you post the bond, you're not to initiate contact with any arresting officers. You're not to possess any weapons. You're not to possess any drugs without a valid prescription or drive without a valid driver's license. You're to continue to provide court proof of your local address. Lastly, you're to contact the probation department within 72 hours of your release. Your next court date on this case is a status conference on May the 7th at 8:30, with a possible preliminary hearing on May the 9th at 8:30 in the Downtown Superior Court. On number 8 on the calendar, this is a probation violation for a Class 6 felony. Once again, the public defender has been appointed to represent you. On this case, there's a secured appearance bond set in the amount of $250. The release conditions are exactly the same, including contacting your probation officer within 72 hours of your release. Your next court date on this case is a probation revocation possible disposition hearing on May the 8th at 8:30. Do you have any questions, sir?
No, sir.
All right, thank you, sir. Mr. Treyas will be followed by Clemente Gomez. Sir, please tell me your name and date of birth.
James Treese, 07/06/1983.
Thank you, sir. So you've been charged with a probation violation for a Class 3 felony. The public defender has been appointed to represent you. There's been a secured appearance bond set in the amount of $1,000. If you post the bond, you're not to initiate contact with any arresting officers, you're not to possess any weapons, you're not to possess any drugs without a valid prescription or drive without a valid driver's license. You're to continue to provide court with proof of your local address, and you can contact the probation department within 72 hours of your release. Your next court date on this case is a probation revocation arraignment hearing, possible disposition hearing on May the 8th at 8:30 in the Downtown Superior Court. Do you have any questions, sir?
No, sir.
All right, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Clemente Gomez will be followed by Faven Ireland. Sir, please tell me your name and date of birth.
Clemente Jesus Lopez Gomez, June 9, 2003.
Thank you, sir. Sir, you're here on 2 cases. Looks like both are probation violations. The first, number 29, is for a Class 6 felony. The court has found you to be indigent and appointed the public defender to represent you. On this case, there's been a secured appearance bond set in the amount of $500. If you post the bond, you're not to initiate contact with any arresting officers, you're not to possess any weapons, you're not to possess any drugs without a valid prescription. You're not to drive without a valid driver's license. You're to continue to provide court with proof of your local address. You must submit to fingerprinting, and you must contact the probation officer within 72 hours of your release. Your next court date on this case is a probation revocation arraignment possible disposition hearing on May the 8th at 8:30 in the Downtown Superior Court. On number 30 on the calendar, it's another probation violation for a Class 6 felony. Once again, the public defender is appointed. The bond on that case is also $500. The release conditions are exactly the same as is your court date of May the 8th at 8:30. Do you have any questions, sir?
No, sir.
All right, thank you, sir.
Go ahead.
Ireland will be followed by Brian Fasio. Good afternoon, sir. Please tell me your name and date of birth.
Favon Ireland, 02-2096.
Thank you, sir. Sir, you're charged with, well, you've got 2 cases. A new case charging you with possession of dangerous drugs, Class 4 felony, possessing drug paraphernalia, Class 6 felony. The court has found probable causes to those counts. The court has found you to be indigent and appointed the public defender to represent you. On this case, there's been a secured appearance bond set in the amount of $1,000. If you post the bond, you're not to initiate contact with any arresting officers, you're not to possess any weapons, you're not to possess any drugs without a valid prescription or drive without a valid driver's license. You're to continue to provide court with proof of your local address, and you must contact your probation officer within 72 hours of your release. Your next court date on this is a status conference on May the 7th at 8:30, with a possible preliminary hearing on May the 9th at 8:30 in the Downtown Superior Court. On number 37, it's a probation violation for Class 6 felony. Once again, the public defender is appointed to represent you. On this case, there's been a secured appearance bond set in the amount of $500. The release conditions are the same. Your court date on this case is a probation revocation hearing, possible disposition hearing on May the 8th at 8:30 in the Downtown Superior Court. Do you have any questions, Mr. Arnold? Okay, thank you, sir. You step right over there. Fasio would follow by Dylan Lambries. Sir, please tell me your name.
Brian Fasio.
And your date of birth.
01/06/2000.
All right, sir, you're here on a justice court warrant on the charge of driving on a suspended license, Class 1 misdemeanor. The public defender has been appointed to represent you. There's been, the public defender is appointed for the limited purpose regarding the bond issue under Rule 6.1B1. Your bond is set in the amount of $500. That was set by the Justice Court when they issued the warrant. If you post the bond, you're not to initiate contact with the arresting officers. You're not to possess any drugs without a valid prescription. You're not to drive without a valid driver's license. You're to continue to provide court with proof of your local address. Your next court date on this case will be an arraignment hearing on May the 6th at 1 p.m. So May 6th, 1 p.m. in the North Mesa Justice Court. Do you have any questions, sir?
I can be released though?
If you post a $500 bond, yes.
All right, cool. Yeah, no.
All right, step right over then, sir. All right, Mr. Lambrese will be followed by Louis Chow. Your name, please.
Dylan Lambrese.
And your date of birth.
January 17th, 1996.
All right, thank you, sir. So you're here on 3 cases. Number 14 on the counter is a probation violation for a Class 4 felony. The court has found you to be indigent. It's ordered appointing the public defender to represent you. On this case, there's submitted a secured appearance bond set in the amount of $750. If you post the bond, you're not to initiate contact with any arresting officers. You're not to possess any weapons. You're not to possess any drugs without a valid prescription. You're not to drive without a valid driver's license. You're to continue to provide court with proof of your local address, and you must contact your probation officer within 24 hours. Your next court date on this is a probation revocation possible disposition hearing on May the 8th at 8:30 in the downtown Superior Court. Number 15 is another probation violation for a Class 6 felony. Once again, the public defender is appointed to represent you. On this case, there's a secured appearance bond set of $750. The release conditions are exactly the same as is your court date of May the 8th at 8:30. Lastly, number 16 is a new charge, 1 count of taking the identity of another, Class 4 felony, 1 count of possessing drug paraphernalia, Class 6 felony, and 1 count of obstruction, refusing to give a true name. The court's found probable causes to those counts. The court has found you, once again, to be indigent. The public defender is appointed to represent you. On this case, there's a secured appearance bond set in the amount of $100. The release conditions are the same. Your court date is a status conference of May the 7th at 8:30, a status conference with a possible preliminary hearing on May the 9th at 8:30 in the downtown Superior Court. Do you have any questions about these 3 cases, sir? All right, thank you. So you can step right back over there. Louis Chow will be followed by Nicholas Briers. Sir, please tell me your name and date of birth.
My name is Luis Chow, Lieutenant Chow, 10/15/1988.
Thank you, sir. So you're here on a probation violation for Class 3 felony. The public defender has been appointed to represent you. On this case, there's been a secured appearance bond set in the amount of $2,500. If you post the bond, you're not to initiate contact with any victim or witness. You're not to initiate contact. One second, sir. I'll give you a chance to ask a question. You're not to initiate contact with any arresting officers. You're not to possess any weapons. You're not to possess any drugs without a valid prescription or drive without a valid driver's license. You're to continue to provide court proof of your local address, and you're to contact the probation department within 72 hours. Your next court date is a probation revocation, possible disposition hearing on May the 8th at 8:30. Now, sir, you raised your hand earlier. Go ahead.
Do you think I can get a bond reduction, sir, and how long will I be incarcerated for?
Well, let me check one thing.
I didn't catch no new charges this time. I didn't catch no new charges. It was just because my PO didn't agree with me.
I know, but I've looked at the bond set when the probation violation was issued. Let me just check one more thing just so I can completely be satisfied with the bond that was set. Sir, given the nature of the charges, the fact you were recently reinstated, the $2,500 bond is actually very reasonable. So the bond is
I was reinstated on a lie that I did not do. I went to prison on my parents lying on me.
Sir, the choice to appeal this is long gone. You're on probation now. Once you're on probation, you have to follow the rules.
I was following the rules. I just lost my charger.
Okay.
I just had to lose my charger. That's the only reason I can't get a hold of my
So
probation.
I've set the bond of $2,500. Your next court date is May the 8th. You can talk to your attorney then, but you can step over here now.
Well, how long will I be incarcerated for, Your Honor?
Your next court date is May the 8th, 1 week from today. The judge will determine whether or not you should remain incarcerated at that point, but unless you post the bond, you'll be incarcerated at least until May the 8th.
Okay.
All right?
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Your Honor.
No problem, sir. All right, Nicholas Briers will be followed by Alex Escalera Chavez. Sir, tell me your name and date of birth.
Nicholas Benjamin Byers, 01/05/1998.
So you're here on a new charge of aggravated DUI, a class 4 felony. The court found probable cause. The court's also found you to be indigent and appointed the public defender to represent you. Sir, on this case, I'm going to release you to pretrial services. You'll need to keep in contact with them and follow their rules, but you won't have to post a bond. You'll be given information about how to contact them. Make sure you do that immediately upon your release. I'm going to give you some of your release conditions. You're not to issue contact with any arresting officers. You're not to possess any drugs without a valid prescription or drive without a valid driver's license. You're to continue to provide court proof for your local address. Your next court date on this case will be a status conference on May the 15th at 8:30, with a possible preliminary hearing on May the 19th at 8:30 in the downtown Superior Court. But the date you need to worry about is May the 15th. You also need to make sure you contact pretrial services. Do you have any questions?
So I'm going on my own recognizance on pretrial?
Yeah, you don't have to post a bond. You just have to make sure you keep in contact with them and follow their rules. So you don't have to post any bond. The information about how to contact them will be in an envelope.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome, sir.
Have a nice day.
All right, Mr. Escalera Chavez will be followed by Frank Barbado. Please tell me your name and date of birth.
My name's Alex Escalera Chavez. My date of birth is 12/3/98.
All right, you've been charged with possessing narcotic drugs, a class 4 felony, and possessing drug paraphernalia, class 6 felony. The court's found probable cause. As to those charges, the court's found you be indigent, appointed the public defender to represent you. On this case, you're going to be released to pretrial services. You need to make sure you contact them and follow their directions.
Oh, okay. So that means I am going to get released?
Yes.
Okay,
on this case, you're going to be released.
Okay.
I'm going to go over some of your release conditions. You're not to initiate contact with any arresting officers. You're not to possess any drugs without a valid prescription. You're not to drive without a valid driver's license. You're to continue to provide court proof of your local address. Your next court date is May the 15th for a status conference with a possible preliminary hearing on May the 19th. So make sure you go to court on the 15th and make sure you contact pretrial services.
Okay.
All right, step right over there.
Thank you very much.
Mr. Barbado will be followed by Matthew Boggs.
Good evening, Your Honor.
Good evening, sir. Tell me your name and date of birth.
Frank Barbado, 7/25/70.
All right, sir. You've been charged with possessing narcotic drugs, a class 4 felony. The court did not find probable cause on this case. That doesn't mean the case is going away, just that they didn't have the necessary drug testing for me to find probable cause. You are going to be released on your own recognizance. You're not to initiate contact with any arresting officers, no drugs without a valid prescription, or no driving without a valid driver's license. You're to continue to provide court proof of your local address and submit to fingerprinting. Just because I didn't find probable cause, that doesn't mean the case is going away at all.
I understand.
You need to make sure you make your court dates. Your next court date will be a status conference on May the 15th at 8:30 with a possible preliminary hearing on May the 19th. But make sure you go to court on May the 15th, sir. Do you understand that?
Thank you.
All right, step right over there. Mr. Boggs will be followed by Lance Nogales. Sir, tell me your name, please.
Matthew Boggs.
And your date of birth.
9/8/94.
So you've been charged with possessing dangerous drugs, a class 4 felony, possessing drug paraphernalia, class 6 felony. The court found probable cause on the drug paraphernalia charge alone. The court has found you to be indigent and appointed the public defender to represent you. You are going to be released on your own recognizance. You're not to initiate contact with any arresting officers. You're not to possess any drugs without a valid prescription or drive without a valid driver's license. You're to continue to provide court proof for your local address. Your next court date is a status conference on May the 15th at 8:30 with a possible preliminary hearing on May the 19th. You need to be in the downtown Superior Court on May the 15th for your status conference. Do you understand that, sir?
Okay.
All right, so you can step right over there.
Thank you.
Mr. Nogales will be followed by Timna Davis.
Yes, sir.
Please tell me your name and date of birth.
Lance Ronnie Nogales,
And your date of birth, sir.
4/12/82.
Thank you, sir. So you've been charged with possessing narcotic drugs, a Class 4 felony, possessing drug paraphernalia, Class 6 felony. The court has found probable cause as to those counts. The court has found you to be indigent and appointed a legal defender to represent you. The court is going to release you to pretrial services. You need to keep in contact with them and follow their directions, but you won't have to post a bond. Some of the release conditions include not initiating contact with any arresting officers, no possessing drugs without a valid prescription, no driving without a valid driver's license. You to continue to provide court proof for your local address. Your next court date is a status conference on May the 15th at 8:30 with a possible preliminary hearing on May the 19th. Make sure you're in court on May the 15th. Make sure you contact pretrial services immediately upon your release. Do you understand that, sir?
Yes, sir.
Do you have any questions?
No, sir.
All right, thank you, sir. Step right over there. Davis will be followed by Jasper Woodworth. Sir, tell me your name, please.
Timna Davis,
And your date of birth.
5/14/67.
All right, thank you, sir. Sir, you've been charged with possessing narcotic drugs, a Class 4 felony, and drug paraphernalia, Class 6 felony. The court found probable cause as to those counts. The court has found you to be indigent. The court is appointing the public defender to represent you. You're going to be released on your own recognizance. I'm going to go over some of your release conditions with you. You're not to initiate contact with any arresting officers. You're not to possess any drugs without a valid prescription. You're not to drive without a valid driver's license. You're to continue to provide court proof of your local address. Your next court date will be a status conference on May the 15th at 8:30 with a possible preliminary hearing on May the 19th. Those court dates are in the downtown Superior Court. And make sure you make your court date on the 15th. Do you have any questions?
No, sir.
All right, so you can step right over there. All right, Jasper Woodworth will be followed by Michelle Thomas. Sir, please step up to the podium and tell me your name and date of birth.
Jasper Woodworth, 11/6/93.
All right, sir, you've been charged with shoplifting with a artifice, a Class 6 felony. The court found probable cause. The court found you to be indigent and appointed the public defender to represent you.
Okay.
You want to at least pretend like you're paying attention?
Yes, sir.
All right. As I indicated, it's ordered appointing the public defender to represent you. I'm going to release you on your own recognizance. You're not to return to the scene of the alleged crime. You're not to initiate any contact with any arresting officers. You're not to possess any drugs without a valid prescription. You're not to drive without a valid driver's license. You're to continue to provide court proof of your local address. Your next court date is May the 15th for a status conference with a possible preliminary hearing on May the 19th. But the next court date you need to worry about is May the 15th in the downtown Superior Court. Do you have any questions, sir?
No, sir.
All right, you can step right over there, sir.
Thank you.
Michelle Thomas will be followed by Dominique Chianese. Ma'am, tell me your name, please.
Michelle Thomas, 4/5/1972.
All right, ma'am, you're charged with possessing narcotic drugs, Class 4 felony. It's ordered appointing, the court found probable cause. The court's appointed the legal defender to represent you. Strike what I said about probable cause. The court did not find probable cause on this. I just was looking down further on the release order. Just because I did not find probable cause does not mean your case is going away. Just there wasn't enough evidence based upon the Form 4. But you still have to make sure you make your court dates and all of that. But you are going to be released on your own recognizance. You're not to initiate contact with any arresting officers. You're not to possess any drugs without a valid prescription or drive without a valid driver's license. You to continue to provide court or proof of your local address, you must submit to fingerprinting at the arresting police agency. So, ma'am, the next court that you need to worry about is the status conference on May the 15th at 8:30 in the downtown Superior Court, with a possible preliminary hearing on May the 19th. So make sure you're in court on the 15th.
Okay.
All right, the officer will give you some paperwork, ma'am.
Can I ask just one question?
Sure.
They did take, well, Frank Barbado, he's my significant other. They did take our phones. Do you know where
I don't, you could ask the arresting police agency once you're out. They could say they have some evidentiary value, which I don't know what they would necessarily would for a simple possession case. You could ask the arresting agency. If not, you can ask your attorney to contact them at your next call.
On the paperwork, the attorney is on my paperwork?
Yeah, the legal defender is appointed on your case.
Okay, and I can just have them find out for us?
You can try, yes.
Okay, thank you so much, Judge.
No problem, ma'am. All right, Dominic, I'm guessing Chianese, but followed by Marco Medina. So tell me your name.
Dominic Canese, 1699, Your Honor.
All right. Sir, you're here charged with reckless driving and criminal speeding. Based upon the nature of those charges, I'm not appointing counsel to represent you. So I'm going to release you on your own recognizance. You shouldn't be driving like that, but that's, if you do it again, you'll probably be held in jail on a bond.
Inexcusable, Your Honor, I understand.
That's fine. But you're released on your own recognizance. You're not to issue contact with any arresting officers, no drugs without a valid prescription, no driving without a valid driver's license. Continue to provide court proof of your local address. Your next court date will be May the 15th at 1 p.m. in the North Mesa Justice Court. But you are released on your own recognizance. Do you have any questions, sir?
No, thank you, Your Honor.
All right, step over there, sir. Marco Medina. We follow by Jermaine Bell.
Good morning, or good evening, Your Honor.
Good afternoon, sir. Your name, please.
Marco Medina, January 20th, 2002.
Thank you, sir. All right, so you're charged with possession of narcotic drugs, class 4 felony. The court has found probable cause. The court has found you to be indigent and appointed the public defender to represent you. You're going to be released to pretrial services. You just need to make sure you keep in contact with them and follow their directions. Your next court date will be a status conference, a post-warrant status conference on May the 8th at 8:30 in the downtown Superior Court. So, sir, some of your release, I can't went over the release conditions with you. They'll all be in writing. Make sure you make your court date on May the 8th. You understand that?
Yes, sir.
All right, step right over there.
I just have one question, too.
Sure, go ahead, man.
I had sent my mother to come and cease the active warrant maybe a month and a half ago to, pay the bond or whatever payment was made left, and she was not able to do so. She was told that the case was sealed and closed, and that I couldn't have...
That's simply not true, but I looked over all those things, and they were requesting a bond in your case. Okay. But given the facts, I'm releasing you to pretrial services.
Thank you, sir.
All right, step right over there, sir.
Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Bell, FOJ. Sir, step up to the podium, please. And tell me your name and date of birth, please.
Jermaine Bell, 12/23/1999.
All right, sir. Looks like a warrant for your arrest was issued by the state of Texas. That state wants you back on the warrant. Before court, were you given a laminated card with some information on it?
Yes, sir.
Do you have a chance to read that paperwork?
Yes, sir.
All right. You have a choice to make whether or not you want to set this for you can waive your rights for an extradition hearing and be sent back to Texas within 30 days, or you could demand an extradition hearing and that a governor's warrant be signed by the governor of both Texas and Arizona before you're sent back to Texas. If you choose to waive your rights for an extradition hearing, you'll be held non-bondable in Maricopa County jail for a period of up to 30 days to allow Texas a chance to come and get you. That 30 days would start tomorrow as long as you don't have any other criminal charges pending against you in Arizona. If you do have criminal charges pending against you in Arizona, the 30-day period would begin once those charges are resolved. If you choose to have an extradition hearing, I'll set a hearing here in Maricopa County Superior Court, that date would be set within the next 2 or 3 weeks. There'd be no attorney appointed on this case because extradition matters are considered civil in nature, so you'd have to hire an attorney at your own expense if you choose to do so. If you ask for an extradition hearing, I would set a bond. Bond would probably be set somewhere in the neighborhood between $75,000 and $100,000. If you ask for the extradition hearing and I set the bond, if you don't post the bond, the state of Texas would have 90 days to complete the process of having the extradition hearing and having you brought back to Texas. So do you have a choice of either waiving the extradition hearing or setting this for a hearing? Have you made a decision about how you want to proceed, sir?
I'm gonna sign the 30.
You want to waive the extradition?
Yeah.
All right. Give me a chance to get something done then. Hold on just once. All right, so you'll be held non-bondable. You'll have a status conference on this case on May the 12th at 1:30. That's just to make sure that your case doesn't fall through the cracks, that they make sure they do that within 30 days. You'll need to step over and sign whenever my clerk tells me she's ready. You can step over there. And while you're waiting to do that, I'm going to go on the record on the 2 house calls. Number 26, Mr. Martinez. The court's inclination is to set a bond in the amount of $7,500. If the court does not do that, the court will come back on the record and note any change. Number 13, the court's inclination is pretrial services. Once again, if the court does not follow that inclination, the court will come back on the record.